All righty. What
Yes,
it
sir.
do? What it do? And the streamer mode's not going to load for me the second I load into this. Hold on. We are off to a great start here. Here we go. Now we got it. We got it teed up here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Tommy Boy and you select. We got to clear those out of the cache there because we did those off stream because they were Flea Flicker and my fantasy league team reviews. But 28 seconds in and we're already discombobulated. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. We're going to go through a lot of trade questions, a lot of super messages, a couple of team reviews here as well. Of course, a lot of you guys probably starting to cash in those vouchers that you're getting for season passes and whatnot. And we're going to have a little bit of time on our hands here. Whereas once the season begins, we may not have as much time on our hands. So if you guys do want to cash in those vouchers, maybe now would be the time to do so. But let's get it kicked off with the trade questions, the super messages, and then we'll double back to the team reviews as we usually do. C Reese 2 is the first one that we got on tap here. We are going to definitely have to double check that these are always redraft or dynasty every single time, just because the time of year that people are submitting these. So this is a dynasty question, 2-quarterback league, 12 teams, start 10 PPR. Bucky Irving, Jalen Wright, who's not really a great asset at the moment because he's hurt and all that may be taking his job, for an early to mid first, and Caleb Johnson, who also is kind of on the down slope at this point in time too.
Yeah, to me, Jalen Wright's kind of a nothing burger in this deal. The nuts and bolts, 2026 early to mid 1, and Caleb Johnson for Bucky Irving. Face value, I do lean the first in Caleb, but if you're a hard contender and you want to go and get top 7, top 8 level running back production from Bucky, I don't mind making this move. However, assuming that you're offering your own pick here, and this is early to mid first, if that's the case, just keep your own pick, keep Caleb Johnson, retool, and try to take that thing as hard as you can.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I definitely lean towards the Bucky side myself, just because
It's exactly fair value.
It is. Yeah, absolutely. I did move, like you could see, I have Caleb Johnson ranked RB23 in Dynasty now because I did move him below some of the more competitive guys like the Derrick Henrys and the Christian McCaffreys of the world, because I think just in a vacuum right now, we don't have enough proof to say that Caleb Johnson's going to be a smash.
Probably Jalen Warren to start the year.
Yeah, I think until Caleb Johnson's really eating into Jalen Warren's workload, I just don't feel comfortable ranking him as like a top 20 dynasty running back at this point in time. So yeah, I would personally lean with the Bucky side. And again, Jalen Wright, kind of a nothing burger. This is a really fair trade. If you had to put a winner on this, which one are you putting it on?
Again, unless you're a hard contender, you're not going to be buying.
I'll quickly double check and see what his situation is here. We did
also,
for those of you guys that are wondering, we did have a complete redesign of the My Teams page, and it looks really, really good now.
Oh, so that's Conklin. That's your team. Go make the deal. Don't even think about it. That's your team.
Go make Bucky the deal on this team all day, and I think that I'm very comfortable making that trade given your team situation there. Also, Saber said he's on our code and never got his team review. Saber, if you submitted in the last 7 days or so, we're going to cover it now. But obviously, if you're not in here, just let us, whatever your username is, let us know if you see yourself as I scroll through here. We should cover it today if you did submit it via our code. But if you submit it to a different code by accident, then obviously I have no idea.
And also, if this is a monthly, then you wouldn't. If this was a season pass, you would get your vouchers. If this is an annual, you would get your voucher. That's what he's talking about.
Okay. Saber, are you on an annual mother flocker or are you an annual flocker or a season pass or whatever? Because if you only
get monthly, then you don't
voucher for an annual mother flocker with our code, just out of curiosity, or just so you know that situation.
Correct. Season pass, you would get access to one trade question and one start sit question. For a full annual, you would get access to the team review.
Yeah, for sure. So David Dave, I never trust a guy with 2 first names. Marvin Harrison for Stephon Diggs and Xavier Worthy. This is a redraft question, not a dynasty question. So redraft question, Marvin Harrison for Worthy and Diggs. Essentially, you're getting a 3rd round asset for a mid 4th round and 6th round asset.
I guess it's a start 8. So what would that be? A 2 wide receiver, 2 flex league. To me, Worthy and Harrison are close enough where you can get a free Stephon Diggs, a top 35 wide receiver in my rankings, a guy that if he does start hot, you can then potentially even package to upgrade further on. To me, the gap between Harrison and Worthy is worth taking the downgrade and getting a guy like Diggs for insulation, in my opinion, in a PPR league.
Yeah,
it's fair.
It's a fair deal. I think I'll just quickly double check look at his team just because I want to see exactly what the Bill Krosky merit. Okay, so He'd be upgrading, his wide receiver 3 to Marvin Harrison Jr. here. It is a start 8, which I believe would mean that it's a two wide receiver, 2 flex, most likely. So in the short term, you would have to rely on like Keon Coleman or Tyrone Tracy in your second flex, plus RJ Harvey's your RB2, and then Jordan Addison Ayuk would be waiting in the wings there. I think it makes sense why you'd want to make this deal, because I think Harrison upgrades your wide receiver 3 a decent amount.
I do agree. However, with Ayuk and Addison both on the mend, I don't think you have the wide receiver depth to be able to consolidate at this point. And in fact, I think Stephon Diggs will afford you the opportunity to do so very soon in the season. Because I feel like with Stephon Diggs specifically, I mean, we talked about it on my favorite picks episode, but kind of seems like the opposite of a ticking time bomb. He's like, as soon as somebody sees him on the field and he catches a touchdown from Drake May, and let's just say he put up a 14.3 PPR point, 9 target week 1. Like, what are you selling Stephon Diggs for on the market if he did that?
Oh, I know what you mean. He could definitely skyrocket.
7 for 73.
People forget pretty quickly that he's coming off of a major injury once he's on the field catching passes.
Yeah, for sure. And again, because you have those 2 wide receivers on the IR, I think that I would hold my depth in the situation, Dave.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think just in principle, my 28th overall player for my 48th and my 67th, I think I would take my 28th. That's kind of where I'm at with it. I did recently move Xavier Worthy down just a little bit. Because I do think the optimism on Rice playing at the beginning of the season hurts him a little bit, and I didn't really adjust for that in my rankings. But let's move on to Captaineer here. He says draft strategy for a 10-team PPR: 1 quarterback, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 3 flex, running back heavy or wide receiver heavy, punt, quarterback, and tight end, etc. So I don't know where
2 wide receiver, 3 flex, 2 wide receiver, 3 flex. Very simple to me. You're going to want to try your very best. Obviously, if the board dictates otherwise, don't do this. But you're going to try your very best to get an anchor at wide receiver and running back. Because I noticed this specifically in my 12-man, 2 wide receiver, 3 flex league for my home league. You're playing a risky game if you take a onesie early in that format. Like, realistically, you're looking down the barrel of, oh, crap, like, am I going to be starting Deebo Samuel in my flex spot week 1?
Yeah, you don't want to be in that situation at all. And knowing that, the way that we view the tight end position, the quarterback position late round in your draft, I would say unless you get a screaming value, like there's a guy that fell to you, has no business being on the board, and he's just clearly the best projection. Like you're definitely lean towards the wide receivers and running backs early for sure.
Like you're at the 105 and Drake London slips to you after you take CeeDee Lamb. Okay, at that point, you just take your Drake London and be on your merry way because that's the 208 in your second round. Otherwise, it's like if it's like, oh, hey, Chase Brown versus AJ Brown for me, or at that point, I mean, maybe you're a Bucky Irving guy and you're dealing with versus Ladd McConkey. Like if that's more of the discussion, just take the running back. But like unless you get like an egregious Drake London, just stay the course.
Yeah, well, I was referring specifically to the onesies. Like in the 4th round, Kittle or Jalen Hurts falls to you or something. It's like at that point, maybe you pull the trigger. But yeah, for the most part, you're not going to be going after many of those positions other than wide receiver and running back. And like you said, kind of leaning towards getting an anchor running back or 2 early on in your draft would be wise. Aaron 24 here, he says they want either Amon-Ra or BTJ. So this is just a redraft trade as well. And he said they want either Amon-Ra or BTJ in exchange for Kenneth Walker, George Pickens, and Ricky Pearsall. So of the 2, I would prefer to sell BTJ. I'm sure you would prefer to sell Amon-Ra, I would imagine. In either case, you're selling a late 1st round receiver for Kenneth Walker, who we have kind of ranked in the mid 3rd round. George Pickens kind of like a 5th round pick or a 4-5 turn pick. And then Ricky Pearsall, more of a 6-7 turn type of pick there. In a vacuum, I think that this is maybe a fair deal, but in a start 8, I kind of just want the stud.
Let me see the team real quick. And it's not linked.
He hasn't loaded his team in. So just in a vacuum, it's a start 8 league. It's 2 wide receiver, 2 flex, full PPR. I think I just want the stud.
Yeah, unless you're needing a running back pretty bad, because I do really like Kenneth Walker. Like, let's say you just got egregious value at wide receiver. Maybe you drafted, I don't know, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Brian Thomas Jr. at the 1-2. The 3-4 comes around. You got Mike Evans plus insert wide receiver here. Like who could fall? Like that's maybe like T. Higgins, maybe. Like maybe you start with that 4-pack at wide receiver, and now you're getting the offer. You move Amon-Ra St. Brown, you get Kenneth Walker, but then again, you also get a couple depth pieces at wide receiver. This is very fair to me, but like you said, in a start 8, maybe you just want the firepower right now. But I do, it's like I said, it's hard to turn down Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, no, for sure. It is very hard to turn down Kenneth Walker and Pickens and Pearsall. I do lean towards keeping the elite wide receiver, whether it is Amon-Ra or BTJ. They're both very similarly valued for me there. Yeah. Ralph, I would love to send you a voucher. Unfortunately, we do have a lot of questions to get through. So if we have time, I can definitely try and make that work, but I can't guarantee anything there. Mopar or no car, looking for an ideal strategy for a 14-man ESPN format. Scoring is standard. I don't know how you can be standard / half PPR. I'm just going to assume it's half PPR. My draft spot is 8th. And then he lists it's a 3 wide receiver start, 7 bench, 1 flex. Bonuses are turned on for 5 catches, 5 completions, etc. in each strategy. So, I mean, 14-man league, start 3 wide receivers. You're definitely going to be
fade the onesies, grab every receiver you can.
Yeah, you said standard / half PPR. So if it's a standard, that makes it tough because running backs are going to have more value in a standard. Yeah. But in a half PPR, I think going wide receiver heavy remains the optimal solution there. Probably through the first 5 rounds, you're going to want 2 running backs at most on your roster, maybe even kind of enacting like a hero RB and then punting to the like Pacheco and those territory for your RB2.
Is he calling half PPR the standard? Maybe is that
maybe he is because on ESPN I believe standard half PPR is the default setting if I'm not mistaken. But it could be full PPR. Either way, if it's a half PPR, you're definitely going to want to go wide receiver heavy, given that it's a 3 wide receiver 1 flex league.
Yeah, again, you don't give the context for where you're picking on the board, but in that type of format, 3 wide.
You said he's picking
8th overall. Okay, I see that. In that type of format, I mean, 8th overall. I mean, you saw both of our videos. I have Nico Collins ranked in that range. You have Malik Neighbors ranked in that range.
I have Puka ranked 8th overall behind Neighbors too.
I have Puka ranked 8th overall behind Nico, so kind of similar there. If you could start off the board with one of those 3 wide receivers, you wrap back in the second, maybe a Drake London falls.
Well, 14-teamer, you're probably going to be
Ladd McConkey.
I think AJ and Ladd McConkey would be best case scenario for you, but you also could take like your anchor running back there with like a Chase Brown or a Bucky Irving or something, and then just hammer out wide receivers in the mid rounds.
I will say in a 3 wide receiver 1 flex league, I would prefer to get a double hero wide receiver start if I can.
Yeah, if AJ and Ladd are there, for sure. If AJ and Ladd go, then you might be forced to take a running back. But yeah, definitely that should help you out a little bit. Same asker of the question. He said, correction to my roster layout. Okay, so he did say, correction is it is not a 3 wide receiver. It is a 2 wide receiver, 1 flex, 7 bench, but he is still picking 8th and it's still a 14-teamer.
Yeah, more willing to do a hero running back at that point. If you wanted to go with a 1-on-1 strategy, I would either go with a double hero wide receiver or a hero running back plus hero wide receiver start in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, for sure. And I would be more willing to take a running back at the 8th overall selection. I just personally am not high enough on like Christian McCaffrey or Devon Achane or one of those guys to actually pull the trigger there. So I would still probably want the wide receiver in round 1.
Like if a Barkley, Gibbs, or Bijan fall, you just obviously take them and you think you're lucky stars. But I'm assuming all 3 are off the board at that point.
Yeah, but you might have, in that format, you might have like Achane fall to you in the second round because people are worried about the calf injury or something. And if you could walk away with Neighbors or Nico or Puka in the first round and then Achane the second, then just hammer out wide receivers beyond that, I think that would make a lot of sense there. So SD Carthy 10 here says it's a redraft question also. Emeka Buka, Romo Dunze, Nico Collins. This is like an all Danny dream team right here.
You're taking the side I receive side very easily, in my opinion.
Yeah. So essentially Nico and Genty are, they're definitely not a wash. I'd say like Genty and Pearsall for Nico is about equal. Give or take. Yeah,
I mean, honestly, even if you just wanted to say, hey, Nico plus Emeka equals Ashton Genty plus Garrett Wilson, and then it's Ricky Pearsall for a Dunze and Mason. Anyway you slice it, you take the I receive side and you thank the guy for sending that in your inbox.
Yeah, I mean, I have Pearsall ranked pretty highly. I think I'm higher on Wilson than you too, so it's a little closer for me, but I do agree. I think that the Collins side wins this because you get 2 mid-round receivers. Like, it wouldn't shock me at all if Igbuka and Odunze outproduced Wilson and Pearsall. As much as I think Wilson definitely would be the favorite to be the best in fantasy of that group, it's not like it would be an outrageous thing there. And I do actually have Collins about a tier ahead of Genty, and Mason's a great add-on. Upside handcuff there for you. So definitely makes a lot of sense. Again, if you guys are just joining us, we're going to go through the super messages, trade questions first, and then we'll double back to the longer team reviews and go through those probably around the 40-ish, 30-ish minute mark there. Stans J, PPR league, 2 running back, 3 wide receiver, 2 flex. JJ or Gibbs, pick 4. I mean, both of us would prefer Jahmyr Gibbs, so that one's pretty easy.
Correct. I will say quickly on this, I think he's asking because, okay, well, there's an extra wide receiver spot. We've said a lot. If there's 3 wide receivers, 2 flexes, wide receiver importance does become a lot more apparent. For me, that would be cut off at CeeDee Lamb. Again, I already have CeeDee Lamb ranked at the 102. I personally just can't take Justin Jefferson over either Jahmyr Gibbs or Bijan Robinson. In this format, I probably would just take him straight up over Saquon Barkley, but specifically those two running backs, Gibbs and Bijan, young, ascending players, legendary level upside. As high upside as Jefferson has, potentially a 19 plus, 20 plus point per game scorer, is there a world where he touches 25 points per game in the Viking situation versus Jahmyr Gibbs and Bijan Robinson? There absolutely is.
Yeah, like I've said it very staunchly on those two guys specifically. Yeah. The ceiling for those two running backs is the season is named after them. Like this is we look back 10 years from now and they're like, oh man, do you remember 2025 Bijan or 2025 Jahmyr Gibbs when they posted 26 fantasy points per game or whatever? Well, it wouldn't shock me if either of those guys had the access to that ceiling. As much as I want to go JJ and be ahead of the 8 ball at the wide receiver position, I'm just taking the best projection on the board and I'll figure the rest out later.
Well, I've said this to you in private, but I said, like, realistically, it started the offseason as the big 6 tier. It's since evolved to the big 4+2 tier for me, because I think my personal top 4 players, Chase, Lamb, Bijan, Gibbs, have the easiest access to 23 plus point per game ceilings out of anybody outside of maybe like Puka Nacua would be there if we had full certainty that Stafford would play 17 games.
Yeah, my explanation of that tier would be the big 3 plus Lamb, Barkley, and I don't want to fade JJ. So that's how it materializes for me, because I have Lamb and Barkley at 4 and 5 in a tier, and then I have JJ at 6 in his own tier, basically. And then I have the top 3 guys, the 2 running backs and Chase, as the very clear top players on the board.
You don't need to be afraid. You could put Lamb in that top 4.
There's no world in which I would take him over the running backs, which is why I have him in a tier of his own with Barkley, because I do think I would take those running backs 10 out of 10 times over him.
Well, question, how many times do you take Barkley over Lamb?
Probably like once or twice, depending on half PPR, standard, those types of formats. I mean, like in the standard, probably 0, but like in half PPR, 2 wide receiver, 1 flex type of leagues, I could stomach taking Barkley over Lamb.
Fair. I had to test it. With that being said, Gibbs, we'll go to Jalen Hulu has
asking us to start sit for week 1. Here we go. I mean, I don't even know the schedules for week 1. So I would say for those of you guys that do get start sit vouchers, because I believe the devs on the back end turned on the start.
They're going to be more beneficial to you guys later on. Like,
if you wait a week when we know the matchups and we know a little bit more information, you'll probably get a better answer out of us. So I'll just say that off the top when because you guys will have start sit question vouchers from the season pass.
With that being said,
we'll do our best here. Emeka Egbuka, Tedero McMillan, Romo Dunze, or Travis Hunter. Who you
Travis.
Like in the spot here?
I'm going Travis. Every indication is he's going to play 80+% of the snaps. He's in a smash and game environment, and I think he's the most talented wide receiver on this list.
Okay. I mean, I probably would lead with Tedero McMillan because I do feel more comfortable about letting Hunter be on my bench just for the first week to see how it goes. But
it's between those two. I would say Egbuka and Dunze are close after them.
I mean, Falcons Buccaneers week 1 is also super enticing with Mike Evans and AJ Terrell glued all over him.
I'm going Hunter here. I mean, like, you can click who you'd like here, but to me, I'm looking at the game environment. I'm looking at the talent. I'm looking at the opportunity that's at least we've been reported to see.
I know you're Hunter pilled, but I think you can even admit that in week 1 you'd prefer to let him wait and see, maybe to see what it looks like.
I mean, if you're cautious, sure. I'm chasing upside. If Travis Hunter
have upside here,
I get
if
that.
You're deciding between Hunter and Pearsall or something, then yes, you go Hunter.
Bush. Correct. But what I'm saying is, if my assumption right now he's going to play 80+% of the snaps, and I know on a week in, week out ceiling perspective, he can crush 30, 35 points. I don't want to risk that happening week 1 when he's not in my lineup. Straight up, if I'm not worried about snaps, which I'm not worried about snaps in week 1 at this point, I'm just putting him in my lineup and I'm seeing what happens.
Okay. Yeah, I'll put it in there.
You have the final click here. The upside is just unmatched for me.
Okay, I would lean towards Tedero McMillan. I think that, and Egbuka would actually probably be ahead of Hunter just in week 1 for me as well. But I could very easily change that stance the second I see Hunter getting snaps and stuff. I would like to see it for 1 week before I,
and that's perfectly reasonable.
Throw him in there,
dude. I'm not going to keep glazing Hunter.
You're going to have him ranked wide receiver 3 in week 1. We know.
No. I mean, he's going to be mid-range wide receiver 2 range.
Sure. Yeah. We'll see. You might have to hide under a rock if Hunter doesn't hit in year 1, dude. Like,
I've already accepted it.
Yeah. You're going to have to hide under a rock if that happens. But
I have 40% of my portfolio on him in best ball, brother. I'll have to do more than hide under the rock. I might have to live under it after that.
Yeah. This is same question asker as this question here with the Garrett Wilson, Ricky Pearsall, and all this stuff here. So essentially he'd be trading away the same type of assets, Genty, Adams, and Pearsall. But for Harvey, Igbuka, Calvin Ridley, and Odunze, we definitely prefer this side, the Collins deal instead.
Yeah.
So if you're going to trade Genty and Wilson and Pearsall and those guys, I would much prefer to do, I guess you're trading Adams away in this example, but I would much prefer the Genty side on this side of the deal because, Harvey, Odunze, Ridley, Igbuka, you're talking about like 4th, 5th, 6th round picks, as opposed to a guy that you probably spent an early 2nd round pick, if not a late 1st round pick on. So I'd probably lean the Hunter side there.
Yep.
Or the Genty side. Not Hunter.
I'll lean the Genty side on this one. Go get the Nico deal.
Yeah, go get the Nico deal instead. I have pick 5 and Saquon as a 2nd round keeper in a 12-team half PPR. How should I plan my draft? I mean, it's going to be really hard for us to know who's available at pick 5 in a keeper league. If I'm also honest with you,
I'm going to keep stack. I have no clue who's being kept in your league. I know Saquon Barkley's being kept. Is he the only person being kept in the entirety of the league? Like, I have no clue what's going to be available to you at 5.
If I had to prognosticate who's there, it's probably more the mid to late 1st round type guys. Like the Neighbors, Collins, Genty would be available, obviously, because he wasn't kept last year. I would say whoever falls to you, because you already have a stud running back, maybe you lean towards the wide receiver, whether it's like BTJ or Collins or something like that falling back to you.
Give him a start sit-in season because it's impossible for us to actually answer this question.
Yeah, I'll fire.
Give him a start sit.
Yeah, you might have to do that on the.
I could do this on the end. Yeah, because I just feel bad. Again, I appreciate you for the support. It's just like there's literally no way for us to answer this without the context of who's actually being kept. So we're not going to just take it and run. We're going to give you a voucher in return. What was the username?
You could see it on the screen there. I'll keep going. It's AALEJAN. Also, Mr. Gooberman is an electric name that we have on the next question here. Mr. Gooberman says, Dynasty 1 quarterback, start 8. He'd be receiving. It's a 1 quarterback league, so keep that in mind. Justin Herbert, Brian Thomas, and the rookie 104 in 2025. So in a 1 quarterback league, the 104 is presumably Trevion Henderson. Sorry, not Trevion Henderson. What's his name? Tedero McMillan. And then you'd be giving up the 108. So you're probably talking past the Igbuka range, more so in the tight ends territory. Josh Allen, Kenneth Walker, and an early to mid projected 1st. He said would also include his 2025 first. 2025s are 105 and 109. Okay, so for some reason he put the wrong picks in. So 105, you're looking at Henderson. 109, probably one of the tight ends or RJ Harvey /
so
Matthew Golden.
Okay, so 105 Herbert for Allen and what?
Walker and 109 and an early to mid projected 1st. He said would also include his 2027 1st. So I guess you're getting on the I receive side, he's also getting a 2027 1.
Oh, if you're getting an extra 2027 1, give me the BTJ side then.
Yeah, in a 1 quarterback league, BTJ is the best asset in the deal. And if you're getting 105, you're presumably getting Henderson with that selection. And Henderson's probably close to, like, after Josh Allen, the 3rd best asset on the deal there.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't actually know that
now. Yeah.
Cool. Good to know. But yeah, I think I lean towards the Brian Thomas side on this one. But this is an intriguing deal for sure because Walker's obviously a great asset. Allen, even in 1 quarterback formats, is going to have a lot of value there. And then the early to mid projected 1st next year is interesting. But yeah, Henderson, BTJ, a 1st, and Justin Herbert. I feel like I like that side the most.
I agree with you there. Shout out Adam, 2026 early to mid 1st plus Brenton Strange in exchange for Luther Burden plus Terrence Ferguson. I mean, this is a 14-team start 10 league, Dynasty 2 quarterback league.
Yeah, I think I want the 1 here.
Yeah, I think you got to liquidate for the 1. Early to mid 1 in a 14-teamer. Like, for example, Burden was what, the 10th through 13th overall player?
I'd say in a 14-team league, he probably went 112 to 114, most likely in most rookie drafts.
Yeah, that's what I mean, like 10th to 13th or 12th to 14th, some range like that. If you can cash in on early to mid 1, I just think that's good process. Even if you prefer Ferguson to Strange, just like
which
they're both
I do. You see how aggressively I have Ferguson.
They're both upside tight ends, though. They're both athletic tight ends that we hope in good situations can develop. So, yeah, I would agree with you. I would prefer Ferguson, but it's not going to be a needle moving point on this deal.
Yeah, for sure. Drew Grilly here says, if my league only starts 6 players, 1 quarterback, 1 running back, 1 tight end, 3 flex, should I emphasize early quarterback or tight end? Yeah, absolutely.
There's no wide receivers.
That's crazy. I mean, you probably want to start a receiver at least in the flex. Yeah. Probably multiple.
I mean, straight up, dude, quarterbacks and tight ends are everything in this format because you have to start them every week.
Yeah, no, tight end.
33% of your lineup.
Yeah, no, literally, yeah. A tight end like Brock Bowers, Trey McBride, or George Kittle would go a long way in this format. And same with like the Lamar, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts territory. Like if your first 3 picks, this is one of the few formats that I would absolutely be okay walking out of the first 3 rounds with an elite quarterback, an elite tight end, and an elite running back.
For sure. Also, Shady says about the FSC Listener League. Yeah, so the forum should be linked in the description of this, correct?
I don't think it's linked in the description of this specific live stream, but it has been linked in the description of all of our videos that have gone out the past couple of days. So Shady, if you want to fill out the form, I'll drop it in the chat right now too, because I did actually forget to mention that off the top of the stream. But we've had a decent amount of responses so far. And the details will be, if you join the Listener League or you want to join the Listener Redraft League, we'll be drafting Sunday night at 7:30 or 7-ish Eastern. And we will also have multiple ways for you to get into the Listener League. You can submit to get in just for free. You get 1 ballot for that. You get 5 ballots if you're an annual mother flocker using code FSE. You get up to 9 ballots if you have used our promo code FSE over on Underdog this year and you are an annual mother flocker. So that would get you the highest chances of getting into the league there. But I did drop the link in the chat if you guys want to check that out. Just read the forum. You'll see all the ways that you can get as many ballots as possible, and you can submit to join the league there. And again, make sure you're available Sunday at 7 Eastern, because that's when we'll be drafting the team.
Yep. Don't be late. Yes. Cynic, Keeper League can keep 3 options: Bijan first round, Puka third round, Neighbors fourth round, McBride fourth round.
It says.
It's third.
Yeah, 6th third.
I keep both Neighbors and McBride 1 bumps to the 3rd, best value 3. So if he keeps both of the guys in the 4th, he has to keep the 3rd rounder. We'll keep that in mind. I mean, Puka is a must keep at that valuation 4th round.
Yeah, he's the no-brainer.
Give me Bijan, Puka, and Neighbors. Who's beating
I just said I think that the season could be named after Bijan, and I wouldn't be able to live with myself knowing I didn't keep him. So I'd go Bijan, Puka, and Neighbors. And the benefit there is that you only give up a 4th for Neighbors then too.
Yeah, like, cool. I can fill up my lineup. I can get an anchor tight end, or you can just have arguably the RB1 in fantasy and 2 top 5 wide receivers.
Yeah, those are 3 of my top 8 players. It's a pretty easy decision for me.
Absolutely. Go win the league. Go enjoy.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's a team review. We'll get back to those in a second. Staff.
I also got info on that, by the way. I got info from that. He DM'd me some stuff that wasn't in that, by the way. Quick six.
Oh, quick 6. Okay. Yep. Jackson Dart and Brian Thomas Jr., Dynasty 2 quarterback league. So Dart obviously shown out in the preseason, looked pretty good so far. I think his super flex value probably on the rise for a lot of people in Dynasty leagues. Matthew Golden, Jordan Love stack, and an early to mid 2nd and 2/3. I think I'm probably taking the BTJ side here, because I think Jordan Love plus all the picks equals BTJ, give or take. And then Jackson Dart, Matthew Golden. I actually have not adjusted Jackson Dart since the preseason. Golden. I forgot to do that. Since the preseason, he's looked really good. I think I would prefer him over Matthew Golden in a vacuum right now.
I would prefer Golden to Dart. However, as much as I like Love, at the same time, I just think Brian Thomas Jr. is that next tier of Dynasty asset. I personally would probably need Love plus a 1 to move off of the BTJ if I had BTJ. So yeah. I got there a different way, but I would actually take Dart and BTJ.
Yeah, I'm gonna move Dart over like Tua Tagovailoa and like some of those. Like he's looked actually quite good in the preseason, to the point that I'm like, I think I want to buy into this asset a little bit.
Yeah. You might have to get some shares.
I have some shares already. I drafted him 2 years ago in our Devy League. Remember that?
Yeah, fair play.
In the 5th round of our Devy League, I took him and Shadur Sanders, and both of them have a chance to start for their team. So we'll take that.
Didn't Shadur enter in like the 3rd quarter?
What do you mean?
Of the last preseason game or something?
Oh yeah, I mean he's not in great shape now, but they traded Kenny Pickett away.
The way you said it though, I was like, what did I miss? Like, was
for
there
a big 6th round Devy pick? I'd say Shadur turned out pretty well.
I'm not saying it didn't turn out well, just the way you said it. Like, I'm like, wait, is there like a certainty he's going to become a starting quarterback now?
They traded Kenny Pickett, so I would say he's got a clearer path now.
Yeah, fair. No, it was funny the way you worded it.
Yeah. Redraft 12 team. This is an interesting question for Danny and myself, because there's a lot of my guys here. Would you trade an early 4th round redraft pick and a mid 5th round, early 6th round redraft pick?
Would you trade London? Would you trade a low end wide receiver 2 and a high end wide receiver 3 for a mid range wide receiver 1?
Yes.
So yes.
Yeah. I would do this. And in a start 8 PPR, I mean, London's going to be an absolute beast in that format there. So Bobo Boy, 11 here, 10 team league, PPR 2 flex. I pick at 10, 8 points per touchdown interesting, including passing. So quarterbacks are going to be god tier in this format. Dude. How would you draft your team in this situation? How early for a quarterback? I mean, to be honest with you, dude, your first pick should be a quarterback.
8 point per passing touchdown.
8 point per passing touchdowns, like really, really high.
Dude, I mean, if you want to take a flex player at the 110 and then wrap around with whoever falls between Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen in the second.
Yeah, at the very, I wouldn't say this
he's got
is
the
like
last pick
super
of the first.
flex ADP. Because the quarterback position, assuming you only start one, is still going to be deep, and you're still going to get a lot of points from all.
Let me do the math right now. Keep it. Actually, I do have to do the math because, of course, some wide receivers and running backs you're going to have to add to their touchdown scores. But I am curious. So last year, if I go to the quarterback position, I go to Flock League because we have pretty basic settings there. Go to the quarterback position. Boom. 2024.
Baker Mayfield scored 328 fantasy points on touchdowns alone last year.
That shows you. It's a 2024 season. It like fucking holy shit.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fantasy points. But like, again, for what it's worth, all quarterbacks get that bonus. So the quarterback position is still deep.
Sure, but if you have Lamar Jackson who threw 41 touchdowns next year, you times that by 8 per tug.
Yeah, that's 328 because that's how many Mayfield had too. He also gets 8 points per rushing touchdowns, I would assume, as well. So yeah, Allen, Hurts, Jackson, those guys at the very least, I would say they would be like mid to late first round picks in that format, I would say.
Yeah.
It's not quite super flex value where they'd be like the first 4 or 5 picks off the board, but I would say
1-2
mid to late
turn.
first they should go.
1-2 turn makes sense.
Yeah, like you pick up 110 in 10-man league, you should probably walk away with one of those quarterbacks, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Let's go to the next question from Preston. Who keep Neighbors in the 7th or Bowers in the 11th? I mean, I think I gotta go Bowers here. 11th is way too cheap.
11th is so cheap. My heart and soul wants to say Neighbors in the 7th, but I think you got to take the value there.
Yeah, give me Bowers. Give me Brock.
Yeah, guy's an absolute animal. Okay, so let me quick refresh here. I hit completed on USelect, so this one should disappear in a second.
I saw you did his review.
Yeah, there we go. All right. So we got some more trade questions and stuff since we started. Okay, let's quickly go through these ones that we got since we started, and then we'll rip back to the team review.
Yeah, it looks like it was just the second page because a lot of them say like 7+ hours ago, a day.
Oh yeah, this one says 1 day ago. Anyways, okay.
This is a redraft question. Bucky Irving for Jacobs and Smith. Like Jacobs is only a few spots after Bucky, and you're getting a free Devontae.
Yeah, this is a free Smitty here for me.
Yeah, we take that. Again, I would prefer Bucky over Jacobs, but a free Devontae Smith, you cannot complain.
Absolutely. Yeah, that one's a pretty easy question.
Boy.
Bonnets here. We got Lamar Jackson, Xavier Worthy for Nico, and Bo Nix. So, I mean, you're getting a pretty sizable downgrade at receiver for a pretty sizable upgrade at quarterback. I think I take Bo Nix and Nico, but this is a pretty close deal for sure.
This is almost identical to the one I offered Sammy in the Flock League.
Yeah, it's pretty similar.
I can't say exactly what it was because I believe one of the players involved in that offer is going to be unveiled on the video that's dropping today. Spoiler alert, there is a Flock League video that is coming out today. Make sure your notifications are on.
Yeah, there is a Flock League video coming out today. I think it's coming out at 5 p.m. Eastern. So while we're live, it'll probably come out. And spoiler alert, Danny and I are both a featured part of said video because we've made
I'm on the
trades.
thumbnail.
Are you on the thumbnail?
I'm on the thumbnail.
We've been making some trades since the draft. So we are definitely in there. I don't know. Where do you lean on this one? Do you lean Lamar and Worthy, or do you lean Nico and Nix here?
I lean the Nico and Nick side, but like it is actually hilarious how identical it is to the offer that I sent out is.
The one thing
you know what my offer I sent out, right?
League. It is a 10-team league. So Lamar is going to have more value in that format.
I'm going to type it in the private chat what I sent. I pressed fucking caps.
Yeah. I lean towards Bo Nix. Dude, Bo Nix is getting me excited more and more every single day. You see, I have him QB7 in my redraft rankings. And honestly, like knowing where you can get that territory of quarterback, like round 8, round 9, when the quarterback or the running back and wide receiver position starts to dry up, like I am not at all opposed for people taking Bo Nix in that territory of their draft, thinking that they might legitimately have a 20+ point per game lock at quarterback.
Check your private chat, by the way. That was the offer that I sent.
Yeah, no, I remember what the offer was.
Okay, how identical is that?
It's very close. Yeah, it's very close.
Yeah. With that being said, yeah, you can get Nico. You take Nico
for sure. You mad 2025? I'm mad all the time, and this is an insane question. If you look at my rankings of these,
there's a bigger discrepancy.
I moved Terry McLaurin up after the extension. I don't know if you changed him at all in your rankings, but I moved him back up to wide receiver 19.
Ahead of who?
Ahead of Hunter and McMillan
No.
and JMO and those type of guys.
Can't do that. I didn't move him down too much with all the holdouts that like where I've had him is honestly where he's probably going to rank. With that being said, there's one thing I forgot to do. Let me actually just check right now.
Are you going to keep us in the loop here? Or are you just going to?
Yeah. Sorry. I was looking right now. So I had him at the end of the tier. I'll move him up within the tier because I dropped him a few spots in the tier that I had him in.
So with that being said, who do you prefer, Devontae Smith or Terry?
Oh, Devontae Smith still. No. I'm talking lower in the tier. But I'm saying I had him at 29. He'd probably be like 25, 26 for me.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I do prefer
right
Devontae Smith by one spot, but I do have him and McLaurin basically back to back in my rankings at this point in time. So it would all be kind of what you're looking for.
Like you asked me right now if I'm in a redraft league. Now, obviously, it'll depend on where you think you can get this guy. Gun to my head, I have to choose this guy, and he's not making it back to my next pick. I'm taking Igbokwe over Terry McLaurin. I'm sleeping like a baby doing it.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I can't get there, to be honest, at this very moment, but I don't think it's crazy. By the way, Najee Harris is going to the active roster, so it looks like he will probably play in week 1, if I had to guess, based on that. Also, how
can he see the holes?
The trade questions, by the way, you can differentiate because it says at the bottom right here, at the bottom, it says details and it says redraft 1 quarterback, 12 teams. It'll say dynasty. If it's a dynasty question, it'll say redraft if it's a redraft question. But we can move on to the next one here from Nemesis. I don't know who to keep for my 2 quarterback league. Purdy, May, Love.
May and Love.
Assuming the price is the same, I would keep May and Love because of the Purdy receiver core injuries right now. If Purdy had healthy Juwan Jennings and Ayuk was maybe going to be back in like week 4 or something like that, I could definitely rank Purdy the highest of this group, but I have this ranked right now, Love, May, and Purdy, but they are all in the same tier for what it's worth for me.
Yeah, no, I think that's reasonable.
GP Fantasy. I'm in a keeper league where I can keep one player. Who should I keep? Godwin in round 5.
Rashid
Brian
Rice
Robinson
is not
round
close.
6. Rashid in round
Rashid
5.
Is not close.
Ayuk round 5.
Rashid is not close.
Yeah, if it's just one keeper, it's definitely Rashid, and it's not even close. As far as because those guys go way lower than their actual ADPs would be in a keeper in round 5. I'd definitely not want any of those guys at that price tag.
Yes, sir.
Christian McCaffrey for Malik Neighbors in a redraft league. You see I have Neighbors ranked number 7, Christian McCaffrey ranked number 12. So I would prefer Malik Neighbors. Do you have McCaffrey over Neighbors in your redraft rankings?
No, the way I currently have it, I got to check the other old site. So let me click into it right now. Create rankings. Wide receiver. I currently have Malik Neighbors at 9th overall, and I have McCaffrey at 12th overall.
Yeah, no, that's exactly how I have them, except I have Neighbors at 7, but I have McCaffrey at 12. I had him at 14 or 15 after the Brian Robinson trade, but I since moved him over Genty and Brian Thomas Jr. So I'm adjusting a little bit because people gave me some.
You got flamed on Twitter.
People flamed my ass for my Christian McCaffrey take on Twitter. Also, Anita Handjob, elite fucking name right here. So this is a start sit question again. Save your start sit questions, fellas. You're going to get better answers in a couple of weeks or a week from now.
So 12 teams start 7. With that being said,
yeah. So this is a goated lineup, and he didn't actually leave.
Is he just flexing his lineup?
Maybe he's just flexing.
In case you were meaning to. Yeah, I can set him a start sit in case he meant to send a question.
Yeah, we can. Anita Handjob, I will. We can fire you a start set question in case you maybe didn't know how to use this. But your lineup's goated if that was your goal with this question.
Anita
Handjob.
Shout out FSC season pass.
Yeah, I mean a lot of these are probably that. The other quarterback is a super flex. Okay, again. I'm thinking that maybe the start sit tool is not not the most known thing for some people.
I'm assuming that would be the case. Here, I might tell the devs right now.
Yeah, send. It could be just user error, to be honest. It might not be anything that the devs did on the side here. I mean, actually, okay, it's a start 9. Maybe this is how we answer this question. It's a 2 quarterback start 9. So we just pick 9 players here.
Okay,
so obviously you're starting with 2 quarterbacks.
Kenneth Walker lock, so that's 3 people.
Tracy
4th, and let's go with wide receivers.
Lad Higgins,
probably all 4 of those guys. Oh, all 3 of them outside. Yeah, of
Godwin's gonna be hurt. So Lad Higgins and DJ Moore.
We're at 7 right now.
7.
Yeah, we're at 7 right now.
Hawkinson, probably you want to start over Loveland week 1, and then the flex would be.
I'm double flexing with Loveland.
You're going to put Loveland in over
The next closest would be Bigsby. Bigsby versus Loveland is a combo.
Yeah, you're probably going Loveland over Bigsby at this point in time. I don't know. They play the Panthers week 1. You could get me on board with Bigsby over Loveland.
Hear me out too. A little revenge game narrative. Not really a revenge game, but shout out JJ McCarthy, Colson Loveland playing their first game ever on opposite sides come Monday Night Football week 1.
Shout out. Redraft 1 quarterback, start 7.
It's
very
Harvey
shallow
and Igbuka.
Format. Igbuka and Harvey or Breece Hall?
It's Harvey and Igbuka for me.
Yeah,
this is too much.
You're definitely going to have Harvey and Breece Hall a lot closer ranked than I do. So that would be the difference there. But I do think getting 2 guys that are like 5th, 6th round values versus a guy who's like a 3-4 turn pick is probably decent enough value to move off of it. That being said, it is a start 7 though. So you're in a league format where the better asset's going to win out. You know what? I changed my answer. I would prefer Breece Hall in the start 7.
I look at it like this. I have Breece Hall currently about 7 or 8 spots higher than Igbuka, and you're getting a free RJ Harvey.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I have Igbuka in my top 50.
As a combined unit here, we'll go RJ Harvey and Igbuka here. C. O'Brien, 1998, greatest year ever.
That was that's Christian.
Yeah, it is. Shout out to Christian. 1998 is the GOAT. Kyron and Trey McBride, Jonathan Taylor, Garrett Wilson, and David Njoku. It's a 14-team start 7.
Ooh, that actually helps a little bit then. It's a start 7 though. Okay, Kyron and McBride. It's still start 7.
Yeah, still a start 7. You still want the tight end advantage ideally there. I mean, having the extra starter because Wilson, JT, and Njoku obviously going to be great for you. But yeah, I think I prefer Kyron and McBride slightly.
Yep.
And then we should be able to go into the team reviews
Give
here.
Me the first.
And if we, Kyron for the first. I'm taking the 1 there. That's a pretty easy one. He said, "Do I trade a top 4 projected first?" Definitely not. Definitely not.
Keep your first.
Yeah. Okay. Let's give it a refresh here, and then we should be ready to go on these team reviews.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, we got only team reviews left. Again, I would love to give out some vouchers, but it looks like we got, 8, 9, 10 of these. So we're going to have to get through them pretty quickly.
Might not be able to do vouchers today, unfortunately.
Can't get enough Dynasty decisions. Well, we appreciate you, that. Josh, here. He said, love the content as always. Wondering who to take 102 after Genty. Recently traded Javonte Williams for a 2nd and also made a trade Drake May and a 2026 first for 112. 208 and a 2027 first. So I guess he went and bought Drake May, I'm assuming.
If you're getting May for that cheap, you think you're lucky stars, brother. That's incredible.
Yeah. So this is what the squad's looking like. And he basically, it looks like he's had his rookie draft set. He said wondering who to take after Genty. It looks like he took Amari and Hampton and not Travis Hunter. By the looks of it,
which is the correct decision. Over Hunter, right? Fuck.
It looks like he took.
I thought he said 103. Okay, no. If he was taking him 103, yes, I would have taken Hunter.
Yeah, I don't think, especially given your team situation, I definitely would have taken Hunter too. Because knowing you have 3 1s banked up for next year, the 2026 running back class also stronger than the 2026 wide receiver class at this point in time. And of course, in a vacuum, we know that Danny loves Travis Hunter and everything he stands for.
Thank you for saying it out loud. For a second, I completely blanked out that he passed on Hunter.
Yeah,
I would have been scared.
Yeah, he sold his 1 in the Drake May deal, but like he said, he kind of just couldn't pass it up. So he got Drake May in a 2026 1 for the 112, 208 in his own first. So I think in a vacuum, that was just a great deal. So you kind of just had to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say this is a the problem with this team is that you need the receiver class this year to be so much better than it currently projects. That's the only problem with this team right now, because otherwise you're going to be kind of down bad at the receiver position unless you have a lot of confidence in Burden and Coleman, some of the other guys. I would just prefer those guys to be one spot down the totem pole because you have Travis Hunter, whereas Genty and Benson and all those guys, you could have filled out running backs in next year's class, whereas I'm not so sure you can do that at wide receiver.
And you have the affordability because you have such 3 such strong quarterbacks, like whoever you would want to sell or whoever you're getting big nibbles on. Pause between Drake May, Caleb Williams, and Trevor Lawrence. I mean, maybe it is Caleb Williams you're getting the nibbles on, considering he eats sack.
Yeah, he does eat sack, as Danny said in his betting the house on
that was crazy. I just left that shit in there. Pause.
Yeah, he goes, Caleb Williams eats a lot of sack, which was an insane thing to say.
And it's okay because every young quarterback eats sacks.
Well, not like Caleb, dude. Not like Caleb. Danny, it ain't June, brother.
It ain't June. Yeah.
That's crazy. But yeah, I think you're set at quarterback, man. And I would, like you mentioned, I'd be willing to tier down if you have an opportunity to do that and collect more draft capital. Like if Trevor gets out to a monster start, for example, also knowing that you had Lawrence and still didn't take Hunter to me is pretty wild.
Yeah.
If Trevor gets out to a monster start, you could definitely probably
sell him to the Hunter owner then.
Yeah, sell him to the Hunter manager or the BTJ manager, because I would say if you go Bryce Young plus a first and a second or 2 seconds or something like that for Trevor Lawrence, you might be able to tier down in that territory and still have your top 2 studs and a young quarterback behind them.
Yeah, I mean, overall, in terms of the team construct, you're weak at tight end, of course, but because you have so much insulation with those picks, that's not really a concern right now. I do think, like Corey said, you do need an anchor wide receiver. If you can get a guy that's, a top 8 or so bona fide stud wide receiver, and that could eventually be in the draft. Like, hopefully maybe somebody emerges next year, or maybe you can flip one of those picks if you need to at that point. For now, though, this is a clear house money situation. You have your 2 anchors at running back. You have your quarterback situation set in order to take that next step as a contender. Obviously, given the 10th overall out of 12th ranking at wide receiver and tight end, those are the clear problem areas to increase. Or improve.
And definitely take advantage of those selling windows, like we always say with house money teams, for sure. So we can move on to Cowboys fan 99. I don't know if this is Corey Van or not. He's usually Boys fan something. But anyways, Perfect Timing is the name of his team by the looks of it. So he said, hey guys, over the content. I've been following your content for 2 years now. Best in the business. Really appreciate that. He said, for my team, very confused on where I stand. Is this a house money or a contender? I have picks I can move and unsure if I should move them for players or stick it out. And if I move them for anyone, who do I move them for? Basically,
Hear me out. The answer is both, because guess what? This is a long-term team. You have elite building blocks up there, but this is also a team I can flat out see winning this year. It really depends what type of offers you have. I wouldn't want to touch those 2027 ones for now until I get a deal that's too tempting. Maybe at the deadline, a guy's trying to retool. He said, hey, my year is done this year. My team, maybe he had one bad injury that cracked everything. He starts 3-5. Then at that point, those 2 ones of liquidity are very tempting for him in a retool type of mindset. That might be a scenario, but realistically, I'm not going to be pushed and bothered having to move those ones. Your team is in a situation where you have so much longevity at wide receiver, so much firepower at the top, as well as contending assets across the board outside of tight end, to the point where I would put your team up there from a pure production standpoint, up there with many people in the league. I mean, you have my 101, 102, 105 on your team.
Yeah, no, the one thing I would suggest, because this team actually reminds me a lot of my Tone Setters team a little bit, just in the state that it's in, where it's like, hey, it's a team that could win the championship. I obviously won the championship in Tone Setters last year. I would explore a move that I did, where you take Saquon Barkley and you try and get younger at running back and maybe cash in on the monster season that Saquon had. And I was just looking at the Devon Achane manager. This guy's in a contending window. He might give you Devon Achane plus for Saquon Barkley, especially given the state of Devon Achane right now, where he's dealing with like a calf injury. Because if he would give you Devon Achane in a 2027 second for Saquon Barkley, I think that's a win-win for both of you guys, because he's trying to win the championship, obviously. And I think that keeps you young while still very, very competitive.
Yeah, and maybe let's go down a little bit. Maybe if let's see who has Jahmyr Gibbs, who has one of those anchor backs. Maybe if they would be willing to make a move.
This guy is Hampton. You could definitely go after Hampton using Barkley too.
You could
do
that.
Got a young team though. He might not be in the position to do that.
Genty would make sense. I mean, if you wanted to make a godfather for Genty and McBride, I think that would make a ton of sense on your team too, because your wide receiver core is very, very deep as well. Even if you had to throw Worthy in those 2 ones plus a running back piece, like, I mean, Worthy, Barkley, and 2 ones, does that get you up there with Trey McBride plus Genty?
Yeah, potentially. I think that would make some sense. Like, just refashioning your building blocks into guys that can be both competitive now and longer term appeal. The easiest example of that would be pivoting Barkley to Achane or Hampton or somebody who's extremely valuable and can give you 70 to 90% of the production that Saquon's going to give you. And to be honest with you, like, it wouldn't actually totally shock me if Devon Achane outproduced Saquon Barkley, which is why I made the deal for him, moving off of the aging 28-year-old to the 23, 24-year-old running back.
Yep. By the way, quick six, I got the input in the Discord as well. Is this exactly what you texted me in Discord? Don't worry, we'll get to yours in a second, because he's literally the next team as well.
Yeah, no, for sure. But any other thoughts on this team as far as like I'd be willing to potentially tier down at quarterback. Whatever quarterback you can get good value for, I'd be okay tearing down from if you needed to.
Probably
Like,
CJ Stroud is the one that sticks out to me.
yeah, I think Stroud, given the
sack.
projection this year, is not like the greatest. Like, I don't love him from a redraft perspective. If somebody was willing to give you, Bryce Young and a bunch of picks or something like that, as we kind of made
Penix plus a
to
first
already.
Penix plus a first.
I think Penix plus a first would be maybe a little bit too shallow of a deal for me.
Maybe
also, I saw the guy who had Penix had it in his name, and he had Bijan too, so he's probably a Falcons fan or something.
But like someone in that tier, and you can get maybe a first plus of insulation. Like I think that'd make a ton of sense because Kyler plus Dak is perfectly fine for a contending quarterback duo. And then you can get a little bit cheaper at quarterback 3, get some picks banked up, and maybe at that point you can even consolidate at tight end. Potentially, I mean, like McBride would make sense. Like go back to that guy. That guy has 2 as his quarterback too. Okay, perfect. We got someone that we can cook with here. Okay, so Tua Tagovailoa plus his 2026 and 2027 one. For CJ Stroud plus what?
You could probably
go after McBride.
You could probably fire him a young running back or a young receiver, maybe some draft capital back.
That, I mean, Tua plus McBride for Stroud plus what?
Probably Rome or Worthy needs to be in that deal, I would imagine. Yeah, like given that he's giving up McBride.
Yeah, like try to work with it, see what you can get done. Obviously, you have the trade calculator as well to kind of be able to play with some deals. But I mean, my favorite advice is get creative. And if you guys watched the last video in the Flock League, like I got creative. When I heard Drake London was available to be traded for in the Flock League, I didn't have to worry about, oh, well, if I give up Jacobs, I have no running backs. I had no running backs for how much time, Corey?
I don't know.
How long?
10 minutes before you and I made a trade. And
I got roasted in the chat too.
I'm still mad about giving you Samson. The craziest thing is I'm not mad about giving you Walker. I'm mad about giving you Samson and Bigsby in that deal.
Well, like it was funny because like I think it was Thomas that was in the chat. He's like, LOL, look at Danny's running backs, and then 2 minutes later, our trade processed on Sleeper.
Yeah, for sure.
But with that being said, get creative. Don't worry about your team needs right now. Get the value and worry about it after. If you have to make adjustments, go make the adjustments. Be active. Be a busy beaver. Be a social butterfly. Get active.
Yeah, and who knows? Like if Pitts for some reason is actually functional, and Charbonnet takes over the backfield, and ETN's the starter for the Jags, you might have a chance to win the championship in this season too. Like that's the other thing with this team; it's totally not outside the range of outcomes that you do win the championship this year. So moving into quick six, like you said, you had some things to add to his team. We'll go over the team first, and then I'll let you add what you got to add to it. It is nice knowing that he is in a position where he has the most points of anybody in the league here. He's like 4,000 ahead of everybody. He said he's got some deals in his inbox and so on and so forth. But looking at the team first, it is a 2-quarterback, 12-team start 11, so a little bit on the deeper side. Joe Burrow, Caleb Williams, Bryce Young feels really good at quarterback. Bijan, Judkins, Irving, and those guys feels pretty good at running back. And then the wide receiver and tight end core is also in really good shape. And it looks like he has a bunch of mid-round picks next year on top of missing his first. But then he said, inbox my 4 for Flacco, Young for Dart. Okay, hold on.
Okay, so let me see here because he also leave the text here. He says, with injuries, my last flex spot is weak in a start 11. Udi Lim has wide receivers I'm very interested in tearing down off of one of my wide receivers. So we'll look at Udi Lim and we'll look at here wide receiver core. So it's Udi Lim.
Am I blind?
Savajo has Warren. Okay, so I don't see Udi Lim, but he says, yeah, I don't see an Udi Lim, but we'll go to a Savajo. We'll look at Savajo.
Yeah, I don't know where Udi Lim is, but
so Savajo has Warren. He's expressed trading him. Pretty sure the guy with London and Tet would give them for neighbors. Good, bad. He's my competition for the chip. It's hard to trade with him. So let's think about this. Okay, you're getting offered Drake London plus Tetero and McMillan from Malik Neighbors. Are you taking that?
Drake London plus Tetero and McMillan from Malik Neighbors? Probably not. You'd have to pry Malik Neighbors out of my cold dead hands in Dynasty, to be honest.
I think I'm leaning a yeah. Like that's close.
It's a great offer. That's
a really good offer.
I think that highly of Malik Neighbors.
It's basically, would you take Drake London plus 2 firsts for Neighbors? And I think I would, because I would value that at about 4.5 firsts of value.
Yeah. I don't think you're wrong about that.
I don't think you're wrong either. There is no wrong or right here. Like, realistically.
No, sure. And this is Udi Lem's team here. He said in the chat, it's America's team.
Okay, so Udilam has a bunch of receivers you're intrigued by, like a Dunze.
I mean, Downs and Golden makes sense as good trade targets for your second flex or your third or fourth flex spot, whatever it would be for you. I'd be interested in going after Downs because I don't think people value Downs the way that I value him.
Yeah.
So if you could make a trade to go after Downs and all it costs you is your second and some of those mid-round picks, even like if you could go my second, my third, and my fourth for Josh Downs, like I'd be because you have extra mid-round picks anyways. Like I'd be totally cool doing that.
Yeah. Now he also says here, I might be galaxy braining this, but tiering from Bryce to Dart, he's got some young guys I could maybe get on top. I wouldn't force it personally,
unless you're getting like significant pick capital. I wouldn't do it for the guys that you have listed there.
For sure. And you say pretty don't worry about the bomb, bro. Like we're gauging as much as we can, but it looks like you pretty much addressed it. He also asked, he's got a trade in the inbox. Would you consider Bryce Young, Joe Mixon a third, and Jalen Wright? And the offer he would get back was Jackson Dart, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, Tony Pollard, and one of Tootin or Kyle Williams.
So he'd be giving up Bryce, Mixon, and a 3, you said?
Plus Jalen Wright, which is like whatever.
Jalen Wright's like useless. So it's basically Bryce and Mixon for Dart.
JCM,
Pollard would be my preference of the guys that he listed there. JCM, and who was the other guy?
And Pollard.
Pollard? That's a pretty good offer.
It's a solid offer, especially, I mean, let's look at your running back depth right now.
I mean, that gives you a lot of upside at running back because Pollard is going to be a flex option for you, especially those first 4 games without Tajay Spears there. I kind of like that deal, to be honest.
Yeah, when you first said it, you were saying it like, oh, I'd get like one of like these guys, but like you're getting a few guys added on. Like I think I actually would take that, to be honest. That's a really compelling offer.
Yeah, that is a really compelling offer, especially knowing that like, yeah, Bryce, I believe in him, but like you could make the argument that 6 weeks into the season, Dart might be valued above Bryce straight up. In that, like, it wouldn't shock me if Bryce is lower value than Dart if Dart is, you know, the way he looks in the preseason.
So he said we flirted with Jason and my 2 for Dunze and Golden. I think that's honestly really like solid value both ways. Like that seems like almost an identical, like exact even deal.
Yeah, and I would be comfortable making that trade as well. The one thing I would say, though, is because you're in a state of like a really good high-end pieces on your roster, I'm not really in the business of tearing down from receiving needle movers like that unless you really believe in Odunze and Golden. If you're really in on those guys, that's totally fine. But your team is in a position where you actually want to be acquiring the better asset in the deal as opposed to trading down from the better asset.
And quick six, this is why we play Dynasty. If you feel like this, go trade for Jackson Dart. Like straight up, like the whole basis of Dynasty, which is so fun, is understanding the market value, but not living by it. If you have stances, if you have convictions, I mean, Corey, I'm not sure if you checked the Discord today, but Avery was trying to like roast us because he called it the expert bias meter is what he put in the private chat. But he wrote Flock League expert bias meter, and it was basically the average scores of the experts versus the individual creators. And I just said, correction, that's the conviction meter. We stand by our takes. We have our teams valued above where everybody else does because we draft based off how we view the landscape.
Yeah, obviously I like my team better. I made the selections.
Well, that's the thing. So here, I'll do this. So he put it in the chat, and he basically like found like the percentage of like who's the quote unquote most biased. Now, obviously, no surprise, we're gonna be highest. But like, dude, I am gonna draft the guys that I want to have on my fantasy football team. I'm gonna trade for the guys that I want on my fantasy football team. Also, I love how Nathan's like personal rank isn't even egregious, but because his expert rank is so low that it evens out to third highest.
Yeah, no, for sure. Speaking of, by the way, Ethan, he said screams Bo Nix to me.
Go get him.
I mean, I didn't hear Avery and Nathan talking about drafting Bo Nix, but I screamed it from the goddamn mountaintops to draft Bo Nix last year.
Of course, Avery would be at 8.3%.
Yeah, he would be at 8.3% quad condom for sure. What was he, like 1% higher or something in his own personal rankings than the expert ones? Yeah.
Yeah, 1.94%. It's like,
I feel like that's not the flex he thinks it is. He's like, yeah, I drafted some of my like middle level players that I don't really feel that great about.
It's like, bro, you view your players exactly like everybody else does in the league. Does that make you special? Like, no, I'm drafting players that I think that you guys got flat out ranked wrong.
Yeah,
like, that's where
I have Igbokwe ranked super aggressively. I drafted him. I have you have Hunter ranked super aggressively. You drafted him. I have McConkey ranked way more aggressively than everybody else except you. I drafted him. Like that's exactly how I drafted.
It was funny though the way he said bias meter, and I just corrected him with a convictions meter because that's what it is. It is a conviction meter. If you have conviction, it'll show on that. There will be a discrepancy.
Yeah, absolutely. So getting back to the review here, I would say the JSN in year 2 for Golden Odunze. He said DJ Moore, Mooney for okay, this is a different trade. DJ Moore, Mooney for Warren Ellick. So that would be the trade. He'd be giving up DJ Moore and Mooney for Tyler Warren and Ellick Isle Manor. I would take Tyler Warren and sleep like a baby doing so.
Oh yeah, go get Tyler Warren. Also appreciate you, Nemesis. Yeah, hopefully you got a ton of value from that, brother. Yeah,
again, you're in the position, Ethan, that you are buying stud assets because your team is really good. So doing deals like JSN in your 2 for Golden Odunze could definitely work out for you if you're really big on Odunze, really big on Golden. But I'm actually more inclined to do deals like you have listed here, DJ Moore and Mooney for Warren and Ellick, because Warren's the best asset in that deal. So I want to consolidate to the best asset in most of the deals that I'm doing if I'm in your position, because you have all your draft capital, you have the ability to still add pieces if you do need depth for whatever reason. Let's say you got some injuries happen or whatever, and you're like, I got to go buy a last year's Tyrone Tracy. I got to go buy a last year's Jacoby Myers. I have the ability to do that if I just need a depth asset. Those guys are really easy to find. Tyler Warren, not easy to find.
Dude, you trade for the difference makers and you worry about the added guys after. Like realistically, don't worry about the fluff until you actually need the fluff.
Yeah, and DJ Moore and Darnell Mooney could also lose a decent amount of value after this year, and I expect Tyler Warren to gain value after this year.
It sounds like then you take the JSN deal for Odunze plus Golden after that.
Yeah.
This is how we get creative. Like I was saying it earlier, it's like you make one deal knowing in mind what your plans are on the next deal. I mean,
there's a video dropping in about 30 minutes that's going to exemplify why I made the deal that I did with Danny, because I had another deal on the line there. And Dylan in the chat, I'm sure he's in here somewhere. He is number 1 in the.
He said he was leaving after 30 minutes, I think, at the beginning of the stream. So
okay, well, we're reviewing his team. So for when he's watching this back here, redraft 1 quarterback, 10 teams, start 7. He said this was an ESPN draft, so it's pretty basic ESPN settings here.
Look at the wide receiver
anchor quarterback: Gibbs, Hampton, Nico, Lad McConkey, Harrison, Devontae Smith, Pickens, and Igbuka with Loveland as his tight end. I mean,
drop Auden
for just in case he doesn't.
Dude, drop Auden for Dylan Sampson right now. Drop Auden for Dylan Sampson right now.
Yeah, Dylan Sampson being on the waiver wire is really intriguing there. So yeah, I would definitely go and pick him up if you can. But yeah, dude, this is a unit, man. This is a unit of a squad.
Yeah, and let's just say he might say, oh, well, like everybody rosters 2 tight ends in this league. Okay, like if that's the case and you really wanted to keep Auden, drop Rashad White for Dylan Sampson. Like Dylan Sampson could start week 1 and he's available on the wire. So make sure you go get him. Sorry for reminding you on that, by the way, Corey.
Yeah, dude, I'm still like, I already know the reason I lose that deal is because Sampson's this year's Bucky Irving. Like, I know it's not going to be Kenneth Walker. Like, I feel like it could be Kenneth Walker burning me, but I kind of knew that about Walker. It's not like I didn't assume that he was going to be good this year. I just feel like I'm going to get screwed and Bigsby's going to be a league winner or Sampson's going to be a league winner. And Nemesis, you can, I'm in like 14 leagues.
Dude. I'm
in like 14 leagues and I can link all mine. I don't think there's a limit to how many you can link unless you're in like 50. Maybe there'd be a limit at that point. But
dude, when we used to do consultations, I literally would have them send me their sleeper ID and I would like link it on the screen and go through it with them. Like a team review style for like when we used to do the consultation.
He's in exactly the same amount of leagues as I am, so you should be fine.
Sounds like you're a ball knower.
Yeah. 14 is the perfect amount of leagues to be in, even though every year I'm like, I would like to be in less leagues.
Also, I just got to address. So they just saw you kicking their asses and they're like, yeah, we can't do it with this guy anymore. He's got to he's got to piss off. Like, look, what?
Yeah, you got sent up to the big leagues. You were playing AAA.
Dude, you might have to trade you with Corey for the Flock League if it gets last again.
Yeah, facts.
That bit was so funny when we were at the draft, bro.
Yeah, it was. Anything on Dylan's team that you would maybe try and do? I would say the only thing that sticks out to me is try and consolidate with trades. I mean, you've built out an absolute god squad here, and in a start 7 league, dude, as much as I love Emeka, he's never going to see your starting lineup. So using Pickens, using Smith, using Harrison, using Igbuka, using those guys plus another player or whatever, go try and upgrade your starting lineup as much as you can.
Go throw Lad McConkey and Marvin Harrison Jr. at CeeDee Lamb and see if it gets a sniff. Yeah, no, taking let's see the worst team in your league here. Like this guy is St. Brown. You could go throw some offers at him. You could see what plus Patrick Mahomes gives you to Jalen Hurts potentially too. You could potentially go after him. That guy's team sucks.
Yeah, this guy's team is kind of urine. I don't know
Pittsburgh what's going on there. Why that guy just name himself after an NFL team?
Yeah, that is really strange. I mean, Dylan's friends are all like 10 years old, probably.
That's a good point. Go get Drake London.
Go get Drake London. Like if you love CMC, you could go get him. Loveland plus what gets you Trey McBride? You know what I mean? Like,
plus, dude, go Lad McConkey plus Marvin Harrison Jr. Plus a piece and see if you can get London and McBride.
Also NFL Fantasy Live News says that team is better than his. Brother, you on something?
Oh, yo.
I want whatever you smoking here. Dylan's friends are 10. Yeah. This is the CeeDee Lamb team. This guy could maybe use some receiver depth because Adams, Waddle, and Olave is kind of mid. I mean, he did the Sal thing. If you remember during the draft, Sal said anytime you got a bad receiver on a bad offense, or anytime you got a receiver on a bad offense, you got to draft both of them. And he took Shaheed and Olave during the draft.
That was hilarious.
Also, Sal and I, the most forgettable trade of the entire season last year, I traded him Shaheed. I don't know if you remember this. I traded him Shaheed for Jerome Ford.
You know how you got Shaheed, right?
Season.
You know how you got Shaheed, right?
You traded me Shaheed, right?
I dropped him.
Oh, you dropped him.
I dropped him to pick up. Who did I pick? I dropped him to pick up like a biased personal player.
Jalen Tolbert, probably.
That's some bullshit. Like, oh no, this is what it was. I kept Jalen Wright over Rashid Shaheed to pick up Braylon Allen before the season, and then I dropped Braylon Allen. And the morning that Breece Hall that 1 week was slated to be out, I was about to hop on the wire, and you somehow beat me to it. And I remember saying, "I'm like, you're in fucking last place. Why are you going sniping me on the wire?"
Because I didn't want to come in last place. And to be fair, I wouldn't have if I just played a quarterback in week 17 against Nathan in the toilet bowl. But I was like, you know what? He beat me to the waiver wire. He's dropping all the quarterbacks. He kind of deserves this one. So I'll take the L for the team.
I remember I had to drop Dak for his bye, and I went to go pick him back up, and you beat me to it. And I was giving you hell for it. I'm like, I can't believe you sniped Dak, this and that.
I wish I didn't.
That was the week you started. That was the week you started against the Falcons. It all ended up fucking unraveling.
And I just hate the Cowboys for that. The fact that happened to me is so irritating because that was the difference between me coming in last and making the playoffs. So that's fucking horrible. Anyways, Mind IO Manners, great team name.
That's
here.
An elite name.
Yeah, literally Dak curse indeed. 1 quarterback, 12 team redraft start, 8 non-tight end premium full PPR. I guess just kind of looking at what the team, he said it's a redraft, but just wanted thoughts on the lineup. So I mean, your starter is going to be Kyler, Hampton, Chase Brown every single week. Justin Jefferson, Travis Hunter, J-Mo probably going to be your first flex. Tyler Warren is your tight end. You got both the rookie tight ends, so that's definitely something.
I love that. That's how you know you're watching FSC. I don't hate doing that,
especially if you're following our cheat sheet or whatever. They're probably just the best players on the board at that point in time.
Yeah.
And then I guess Tedero McMillan would also be a starter in your second flex. So, I mean, the only thing I'm concerned about is that you have like really no running back depth at this point.
Well, let me ask you,
if Golden gets out to a nice start and you don't really need him, you could always sell him for a running back. If
can you click all on wide receiver can you click all on waiver for a second? Does that work? The all tab?
No, it's just sorted by all positions.
Oh,
and that's why it says that.
Okay, so the reason why I was asking that because obviously it just shows wide receivers, tight ends, because it sorts directly by like our top rated players left. I would be curious who is available at the running back position.
Not a lot of good guys because they would be in. I have them ranked pretty highly. So if they're none of the running backs are showing, it means that the running backs probably got snipped clean during the draft. So I would say trading for a running back would make some sense if you need to. Like you don't really need to at this moment in time, but dropping. I know your name is Mind IO Manners, but dropping IO Manner for the best available running back also wouldn't be the worst idea in the world on the waiver wire. But yeah,
would you trade J-Mo for
a good
one?
Team.
Would you trade J-Mo for one? Like let's say the offer was J-Mo and you can get up to James Cook and you have to add a piece.
Yeah, I would be willing to trade Jameson Williams for a running back. If you could get, Breece Hall or something for Jameson Williams, I would definitely be willing to do that.
Trevion, even like if that's available, I think that'd be great. Yeah. Like you got some options here. Overall, I think this is a strong team. Your top 3 in the league at both tight end and wide receiver, according to our rankings. Kyler Murray, again, like fine starting quarterback. I'm assuming you got him at a discount. I think that's perfectly reasonable. Running backs, you do have your main 2. You do have an upside shot, but if you can get maybe one more depth piece, we'd feel really good about it.
Yeah, no, for sure. We could probably move on to the next team here, which is from Arthur. Classic. He had a client cancel on him. So one thing I was curious about is Arthur's a therapist for a living. And I'm just picturing my therapist like in between appointments, like just hopping into a stream and like talking to a bunch of 20-something-year-olds about fantasy football. And I think it would be hilarious if you were a client of Arthur's knowing he did this.
Hey, what if your therapist in between sessions was just hopping on a stream with 16-year-olds in the chat?
Facts.
I'm fucking with you, Arthur. I love you, brother. It's all love. And again, we always love going on tangents as soon as we enter your team.
So Nemesis says, how come it asked me to upgrade to annual if I have
It's
the
just a
season
prompt.
pass? I thought the season pass was the max upgrade. So, you have the ability now that if you want the free team review voucher, you can upgrade from the season pass to the annual. The annual is the highest upgrade you can have. It's not the season pass is just a site access from August through January. The annual is a full year, and you get a free team review voucher. So if you're so inclined and you want a team review, it's cheaper to just upgrade to an annual than it would be to buy the team review outright. That's why it's asking you that.
So the reason why we introduced the season pass is for a lot of redraft players to hop on the site. You get access, obviously, August through January. The annual would actually get you access year round. So if you're in Dynasty links, you get access to our Dynasty rankings in the off season, any articles we put out, obviously Corey's prospect databases that we do, our draft class videos.
They have access to that on the season pass too.
But you know what I mean, though? Like when we release the new ones in April, for example, like they would already be on the site when those drop initially, right? So that would be the difference there. Again, if you only play redraft, like the season pass is perfectly fine for you.
That's why we created it.
But yeah, I mean, honest God, it was a great idea adding it because there's a lot of you guys out there that specifically play redraft, and a lot of you guys, I mean, probably found us out initially in redraft. Now, maybe we got you guys into Dynasty at some point because we're just Dynasty hounds, but realistically, I would venture to guess the majority of our audience found us through redraft.
They probably did. Yeah. Also, Cole Strange got released by the Patriots. Didn't they just take him in the first round like 2 years ago?
That's not great.
Not great. Not great indeed. So Arthur's got a team here. He did a few months back, but a lot of changes. He said I was no patience house money for me. I'm not exactly sure what that means. He said bought Gibbs for Hunter and his 27 first. Okay, so he's rushing things. That's what he means. Bought Devontae for Caleb Johnson in early third. I mean, that's aged pretty well for you so far. Sold Brees for JMO Garendo pre-trade early second and early third. So you got Jameson Williams, Garendo, and early second and early third for Brees. I think that's still a good return, even though Garendo hasn't aged very well.
You said sell my 26 first for what? If you can get a tight end on this team, you'll be on your merry way.
Yeah, if you can get George Kittle for your 26-1, you're gonna be cooking. Or I mean, maybe you go after like a Hawkinson or something instead if you can't quite get to Kittle. How much? Like I traded my late projected 26-1 for Sam Laporta in one league. You could probably get up to Laporta potentially, especially if you threw in like Ferguson or something. If you go Ferguson plus a first, maybe you could get up to Laporta.
I was literally gonna say, can Ferguson, Taylor plus a first, like one of those two plus a first, get you any? Like honestly, any of Laporta, Warner, Loveland, I'd be willing to pay that for. Honestly,
yeah. No, for sure. He does have Ingram, which he points out here. So, like, even though Mason Taylor and Ferguson and Gadsden are not really that useful, he said he's higher on Ingram than us. So, I mean, if you want to get by with Ingram, you can absolutely do that.
Go nuts. Like, honestly, too, if you feel comfortable at the tight end position, I think that's perfectly reasonable. Your wide receiver core obviously is barking right now. Like, you got a bunch of dogs on that thing.
Quarterback's a bit more of an issue than tight end, actually. I think our eyes were drawn to the wrong thing because you got Drake May and Michael Penix at this point in time, but, like, third quarterback plus Penix is your second quarterback. How much would it cost you to go after somebody like what territory of quarterback would you aim for here?
So let's go to some of the bottom teams because what I'm thinking here is you throw Penix, you throw Golden, you throw the one, and you see what.
I mean, this guy's got Ward, Herbert, McCarthy, and Mahomes. You could go after McCarthy or Ward from this guy if you were high on either of those players.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I was thinking, okay,
this guy doesn't have his one, and he's got a bad team too. Like you might be able to send your first, second, and maybe a young player for like McCarthy and Tyreek.
Penix, Golden, a one gets you Herbert and McCarthy.
Penix, Golden, and a one get you Herbert and McCarthy. I mean, potentially.
Yeah, if you can get anywhere close, maybe you have to add a little biscuit on top of that. I think that would be a worthwhile deal. I know you're actually higher on Penix as well. I do like Penix, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, if you can make that type of deal, I think that'd make a ton of sense because this guy needs every type of liquidity piece possible at this point. That guy's team is urine.
Yeah, and you could maybe get, because this guy's team is in such bad shape, he might throw you in like a competitive asset like a Montgomery just to get the deal done, or a Swift just to get the deal done or whatever. And you could kind of use one of those, like, I mean, you have Gibbs if you wanted to be the Hancock type and have Montgomery too. You could always do that, or you could just get Swift and be on your merry way there. But yeah, I would like to aim for McCarthy because I think McCarthy and Penix as your QB 2 and 3 is a lot of upside to accumulate value. But Ward also would make some sense there. Like you said, you could go big or go home and go for Herbert. This guy's team is not really in good shape to give you a quarterback. Neither is this guy's. I'm trying to find a team that has like more quarterbacks. I mean, my classic Danny Dimes QB3 trade. You could always go after Daniel Jones as your third quarterback behind Penix and Drake May. Just keep Penix over JJ. Yeah, I'm not suggesting to trade Penix. I'm saying
no. I'm more so saying if you can get 2 quarterbacks, you don't have to do that.
I mean, this guy also is in a unique position where maybe he would be interested in trading Trevor Lawrence potentially, because he's got other quarterbacks. Maybe he wants to get younger and try and rebuild or something. You could maybe go after Trevor Lawrence, but
he's got Loveland too.
Yeah, this guy is Dart too. Dart, I think, sticks out as just a really good QB3 to have right now.
That guy is Lawrence and Loveland, Corey. Let's cook.
Yeah, I mean, now that I look at his team more, though, like he's not really going to want to give up a quarterback that's his best quarterback. Like, unless you're giving him Penix back.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I don't think that guy's, I think, honestly, the guy that you're speaking to currently is the best option for you. I mean, you could ask for Stafford from this guy because he doesn't really project as a contender, and you could just tack on Stafford as your third quarterback for like a 2 or something like that. That would make some sense. But yeah, I think this guy makes the most sense as the trade target, either going big for Herbert or grabbing JJ or Cam Ward as your third quarterback. I think all of those would make some sense there. And if you don't like Tyreek or whatever, that's totally fine. I just talked about him as like a throw-in because this guy would be rebuilding in this situation. Yep. But because he's rebuilding, he might not be willing to go off of McCarthy or Ward. And maybe you could even go big and try and go get Mahomes.
Yeah, you can definitely try for Mahomes. I mean, overall, you're in a very good spot regardless. You have some options to throw that first round. You're higher on Engram than us, like you said, but maybe you have an opportunity at Loveland. I mean, I know you like Loveland as well, so I don't think you'd turn that down. Regardless, though, I mean, you get a quarterback that you believe in. You do believe in Engram, so realistically, there you have a top 3 wide receiver core and the number 1 ranked running back core in the league. So anyway, you slice it, go add that first. Try to increase your contending equity because this is the clear favorite.
Yeah, no, for sure. And AJ's saying Bush hates Tyreek and Pickens. No, I just don't want to give you Jonathan Taylor straight up for either of them. And that's what you keep offering me. So if you gave me Tyreek and Pickens, I would give you Jonathan Taylor. But
he just offered you Tyreek for
JT straight for Pickens.
He's just throwing you Tyreek straight up for fucking JT.
Yeah.
The offer. Oh, come on, AJ.
The Pickens one's a lot more fair because Pickens a young receiver, and that makes kind of sense. But I won the championship last year, and I kind of want to run it back, to be honest. So.
He's just throwing you Tyreek straight up. That's hilarious.
Honest Abe here. Shout out to Honest Abe. Wanted to get overall thoughts on this team. How would you classify it? Any moves to make? Players to target as the preseason ends and season begins? So good thing you brought that up. On Friday, we're going to have a Dynasty trade targets by position and a brand new trade value chart update. So players to target as the preseason ends and season begins, that will be available to you as a site subscriber in the trade value chart. He said, my thought is I'm likely a contender. This is Abe. Shout out to Lone Coyote.
Sure.
My thought is I'm likely a contender this year unless the cards fall right, but possibly next year. So I think it's a pretty decent assessment of your team, given that you have Judkins and some uncertainty at running back and you don't really have a lockdown tight end. I think that's probably a good assessment. You got a receiver core. You got some young quarterbacks that you feel good about, but you're probably a year away, I would say, too.
Yeah, I would agree. Year away. It made it pretty simple. As soon as you saw Quinshon Judkins in the news and potentially not playing this year, you just 1 year punt this thing. Your wide receivers are absolutely stacked. You don't have a tight end, but that's something you can add later. You have 2 main building blocks at quarterback, potentially add a third. And you have the liquidity banked up. Yeah, I just think this is a very good position team, house money team. There's nothing that I would do from an urgency standpoint. Just kind of read the tea leaves, follow what your team's telling you in season.
Yeah, I mean, Ayuk's good for a 1 year punt, so you can kind of just hold him until he recoups his value. But given that your team is young, maybe once he does recoup his value and he is on the field, you maybe want to sell him off for more draft capital or for young running back who's maybe struggling or something. Like, let's say RJ Harvey by that point in the season still isn't starting for the Broncos. You could sell off Ayuk for somebody like that, or you could sell off, somebody else at that point in time. But yeah, this team's in really good shape. You just need to figure out your tight end position, get some more running back depth. Hopefully we don't see Quinshon Judkins this Saturday playing for Ohio State against Texas. Like some of the, you saw that report, right? That Judkins might go back to school.
I was the one who showed you that report.
I know. Insane that was the report there. But yeah, I would say overall, this team just needs a quarterback. I mean, like Shadur Sanders, Spencer Rattler, like Rattler just got named the starter of the Saints. So maybe in season, you wait for a good game from him and try and sell him off too. Like shedding the fat of this roster and essentially just keeping the long-term building blocks. And then next year, you're going to have 3 2s, and your all your 2027 pick capital to be able to fill out your running back core. The only problem, I guess, right now that I see is that you don't really have a tight end solution. And next year's class maybe won't give you one either. because it's not expected to be a great tight end class. But I mean, between Hunter Henry, JT Sanders, Gadsden, and Ben Sinnott, maybe you have something there. I just probably wouldn't count on it.
Yeah, no, for sure. Overall though, good position. There's nothing really specifically I'm looking at.
I would be willing to trade one of his receivers for Loveland or Warren if he could.
Yeah, if you could do that, obviously.
Like Golden, for example, went very closely in rookie drafts to those guys. So maybe
Yeah,
Golden plus a small piece would get you in that vicinity. It is a half tight end premium, so you should.
I would, on a half PPR as well, by the way. I would honestly throw Golden plus that Brees Lightning too and get it done.
Yeah. Golden plus the Brees Lightning too, or like you got some of the other like late round twos that Steelers win. Where is he? He's like a high end pick or whatever. And Brees Lightning about a mid pick there too. So yeah, I would definitely make a pass at one of those tight ends if you can, because that would be a really good building block for you to have right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Anything else that he has here? Yeah, and as far as other trade targets, we'll have you covered in the Dynasty trade targets by position. And yeah, I think you did a really good job of evaluating your team. So there was a little bit less for us to talk about. And you said worth it to trade Wilson for a first and Sampson. I don't think so.
That's a reasonable offer though.
Garrett? I'm not trading Garrett for a singular first.
You're not getting two.
I think you should.
I don't think you should.
Dude, Garrett Wilson's a top 15 Dynasty receiver for me. Top 13, actually. There's no way I would trade him for a singular first.
If you can get two firsts for Garrett Wilson, hey, kudos on you, dude.
That's what he should be worth, man. He's 24 years old on a mega contract extension.
Wide receiver 13 through 27 is blooding in like hell for me right now.
Not for Dynasty.
If you can get 2 1s for him, go ahead. Good luck.
I don't know. What do you guys think is an appropriate value in the chat for Garrett Wilson in a trade for you to be able to move Garrett Wilson? Hey, in my opinion, I would need Garrett Wilson plus a 2 for 2 1s. That's about the appropriate price tag.
One and a 2, fine, because you're valuing Sampson at a 2. That's reasonable. If you can get 2 1s for Garrett Wilson, sell Garrett Wilson.
That's a 1, a 2 in Sampson is a reasonable offer, but I would still probably hold Wilson.
Yeah, I would also never pay 2 1s for Wilson. If you offer me Garrett Wilson, I'm not offering you 2 1s for him.
Well, let me ask you this. Whoever your wide receiver 13 is in Dynasty right now, would you pay 2 1s for them?
No.
Who's your wide receiver 13 in Dynasty?
Let me take a look. Sorry, I got to click Joe's link.
It's probably Ted McMillan, if I had to guess.
Oh, okay. So you have him over that range. No, okay. Never mind then.
Yeah, like I have Hunter over him, but I have Wilson 1 spot higher than Tedero and McMillan.
Ugh, no.
After he signed that extension, man, he's the 5th highest paid receiver in the league. He's 24 years old, and he has the most targets in NFL history through the first 3 seasons of his career.
150 plus targets. He was the wide receiver 23 in PPR points per game last year, and he has a considerable downgrade as a passer at quarterback.
He does, but we don't know what the long-term situation is at quarterback. That could change for him pretty quickly, and I just feel good that
there are 20 wide receivers I'd take over him in Dynasty.
It's very easy to just do he had a lot of targets last year and didn't produce, but it was just such a horrible fucking situation that I think that him and Fields, even if Fields is a worse passer, he can produce better with Fields.
Over Tet's outrageous. I can't get there at all. But again, I have AJ over him, Jackson Smith and Jigba over him, Rashid Rice over him, Xavier
They're all in the
Worthy
same
over
tier
him,
for me.
over him, Roma Dunze over him, T. Higgins over him. Like, he's my wide receiver 21, and I don't think any of the names I said are egregious at all.
I think putting Higgins over him is kind of egregious to me.
Dude, Garrett Wilson wishes he had a top 5 wide receiver point per game season.
I guess. But
Garrett Wilson wishes he was attached to Joe Burrow for another 3 years.
Of course he wishes that. He would be but that's precisely my point. If Garrett Wilson was with a top quarterback, he would be like a top 10 Dynasty receiver right now.
So let me ask you this. When's that ever going to change?
Well, they could have a high pick next year and draft a quarterback in the first round.
Yeah, maybe it happens. If Miami had balls,
I think that's the most likely outcome, no? That's what we're all projecting, the Jets to win, 5 to 6 games and have a top 10 pick.
Question, are you taking Joe Burrow or are you taking Garrett Nussmeier?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with the chat. There's no fucking way. I love Xavier Worthy. There's no way I would put him over Garrett Wilson.
Dude, I'm taking the 22-year-old attached to Patrick Mahomes every single time and sleeping like a baby doing it. I have Xavier Worthy ranked higher than him in redraft. Why wouldn't I take him in Dynasty?
Yeah, I don't have him ranked higher in redraft, so that's the difference for me there.
Worthy over Wilson's getting the woes. You saying freaking Wilson over Tedero McMillan should be getting the woes. That's absurd.
They're literally in the same tier back to back in my overall rankings. It's not Jets optimism. Garrett Wilson's just a really good player.
They ain't same tier though. Ted McMillan's in the tier with Marvin.
From wide receiver 11 or whatever to wide receiver 16, which I think is JSN for me. They're all in the same tier. AJ Brown, Marvin Harrison Jr., Travis Hunter, Ladd McConkey, Tedero McMillan.
in the tier with Marvin them for me.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I think that Wilson is, if I got
The capped
the
asset,
most targets in NFL history through 3 NFL seasons out of Tetero and McMillan, wouldn't you
wide
consider
receiver
that
12.
a huge smash?
Sorry, repeat that.
Garrett Wilson through 3 NFL seasons, the most targets in NFL history for a receiver.
Okay. How many fantasy points has he scored?
Who have his quarterbacks been, dude?
How is it going to change? Like Garrett Nussmeier versus Joe Burrow. You just said they was egregious to have T. Higgins ranked ahead of him. He wishes that he had a top 5 wide receiver season to him. Look, I get it. Oh, target share. It's all great. 100. It's all fantastic. And it's great context. Where is the fucking production?
I think it's going to come this year, to be honest. I think he's probably going to produce a top 15 season.
Dude, I hate keeping on making excuses for Garrett Wilson. It should happen by now.
It's not making excuses. He's objectively one of the best 10, 15 receivers in the league.
Yeah, he's the most talented low-end wide receiver 2 in fantasy.
I guess. I don't know, man. I'm not sitting here saying that I'm super in on the Jets this year. I just think that Wilson being any lower than wide receiver 15 to 17 in Dynasty is a little bit of an overreaction.
I don't think so, because I have a bunch of guys in the tier, and realistically,
are those guys 24 with the most targets through NFL history and have a mega extension on their contract?
All of them either have immediate outlook advantages, like a T. Higgins type, or they are young guys that have exponentially higher ceilings on the market. Emeka Egbuka, Roma Dunze, Xavier Worthy, if they all hit, exponentially higher ceilings on the market.
I don't think Worthy's ceiling is much higher than Wilson's, given that Rice is there on the market.
No, I mean, if Patrick,
I think if Worthy, if you gave Worthy like a 1,300-yard season this year, I think he'd probably be a top 12 Dynasty receiver, but he wouldn't go that much higher than that.
I do, by the way, Zeno. I don't think
that's insane. Having Roma Dunze over Garrett Wilson's nuts.
I have them within 3 spots of each other in redraft, and Roma Dunze's attached to Caleb Williams, and he's younger.
Yeah, but one of them is way better than the other. That's the thing that you're missing here.
Roma Dunze was a top 10 selected player.
But he's not anywhere close to the level of talent of Garrett Wilson based on the first season of his career.
You wanted to tell me Trevor Lawrence was better than Dak Prescott going into the year because you project, right?
Yeah, I project.
Okay. I'm projecting Roma Dunze to take a step.
There's lines that get blurred if you're projecting a guy who had a bad rookie season over Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson could be a better real-life NFL wide receiver than Roma Dunze and still not score as many fantasy points at an older age.
Okay. Well, anyways. I have Harrison ahead of Garrett Wilson, yeah.
Yeah. And he's got a substantially higher upside quarterback and a way better offensive scheme, and it's not even particularly close.
Yeah. I mean, I just until I see Odunze look like one of the best 24 receivers in the league, I would not be able to put him over Wilson. I just think there's a talent disparity at this point in time. By the end of the season, it might be they're the same caliber of player. I just, based on what we know going into the season, I cannot put Odunze over Wilson right now.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, they're in the same tier. I have them 2 spots higher. I would take Odunze over him because I think there's a higher market potential here.
And I think
I have Egbuka higher. Tier head's crazy.
Yeah, I think he's a tier head. I have him in the JSN tier because I think that's where Wilson.
I have JSN in this tier as well. I have
then you just have a larger tier than I do.
I have the tier 14 through 21, and Garrett Wilson's at 21.
Okay, yeah, my tier is from 11 to 16. And it's just like AJ Brown, Wilson, McMillan, Hunter, Harrison.
I don't think you can put those guys in the Ladd McConkey, Marvin Harrison Jr. tier personally in Dynasty.
I have McConkey actually in a tier ahead, but I have Harrison in that tier.
Yeah, I don't think you can do that.
But
if
this
Harrison
is why we love Dynasty, fellas. There's a lot of debate going back and forth.
It's just like the caliber of hit is just so much higher if Marv does hit versus a Garrett Wilson. Like I don't think you can put them in the same tier in Dynasty.
Well, he's ahead of Garrett for that reason, but they are in the same tier for me because the caliber of miss is far more likely for Harrison than it is for Wilson.
Sure, but I mean, realistically, maybe you won't miss if you take Garrett Wilson because even if he misses, he's going to be 5 wide receiver spots at max lower.
I don't know, dude. The prime of
I value wide
career is year 4 through 8, and Garrett Wilson's in year 4 this year. I think that he's going to be a lot better than you do in redraft by the sounds of it.
Question: where does Justin Fields rank among active starting quarterbacks in the league?
Oh, very low. Very low.
Passer as well.
Where did Malik Neighbors' quarterbacks rank in starting quarter? It's not all about the quarterback play. If you're a good receiver, you're going to command targets and score fantasy points.
Sure. Respectfully, Garrett Wilson ain't Malik Neighbors, and
he's not, Jefferson. But he's very talented.
He's talented. Wide receiver 23 talented last year.
Yeah.
With a more accurate quarterback.
Dude, you cannot watch the Jets and tell me that Rodgers, like the whole vibes and situation were not a problem.
Sure.
Just because he's a better passer than Fields doesn't mean that Fields can't produce better for Wilson this year.
I just frankly don't see it at all. Like
Okay.
he's an objectively
I
worse
will bet.
passer.
I will bet you Wilson
I think
under what he produced last year. I bet he outproduces what he did last year.
I think it is far more likely this is a 400 pass attempt offense, and Justin Fields is benched by week.
Well, then you'll have no problem taking that bet, right?
Yeah, let's do
Wilson,
it.
what was he? Wide receiver 23 in points per game last year.
23 in points per game.
I will take that he does better than that this year.
Take him versus someone straight up then. Who do you have?
Isn't that the better comparison? You're arguing that he's way worse with Fields.
Sure. I am arguing that he's worse than Fields, but also you have to take in injuries every year. A guy like CeeDee Lamb, for example, like not specifically, but like there's guys that get hurt every year. Who do you have ranked lower than Garrett Wilson this year, and who do I have ranked higher than Garrett Wilson? Let's find an immediate line. Yeah. Who will outproduce you?
Take a look. Where the hell are my rankings here?
I mean, we just talked about this. Tedero McMillan or Garrett Wilson. I will take Tedero McMillan on the line right now.
Yeah, I'll take Wilson versus Ted McMillan if you want to do that. All right, let's do it.
Let's get it.
All right. Apologies to Honest Abe because we've just been yapping for
apologies,
the longest time.
Yeah.
But shout out to the Garrett Wilson talk in the chat that we had to go back and forth on. I love Ted McMillan for what it's worth this year. I still really like him. I just think that the 80% of the time I win that bet, in my opinion. So that's why I'm going with it.
I disagree. But that's fine.
That's totally fine.
Wow, that wasn't on mine. Yeah, no, we didn't actually go on it on Arthur's. He missed.
Yeah, no, we were one
Apologies, by the way,
one team review away from doing it on yours. But anything else to add to Honest Abe's team here? He basically is just asking for targets. We kind of gave him a couple. Dads are fighting. Yeah, it is classic. But yeah, other than going after some quarterback play and then continuing to keep on keeping on.
What even launched the argument, by the way?
He asked in the chat if he should sell Garrett Wilson for a singular first and Dylan Sampson.
Right. Yeah.
Which I said there's no way I would sell him for a singular first.
First and a second, I would, because like I said, I'm not.
I would want 2 firsts straight up is a little much to pay for Garrett Wilson, but Wilson plus a 2 or an equivalently valued asset for 2 firsts is how I would value him.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get that, I would take that as a coup.
I guess I'm just buying Garrett Wilson again.
Should I drop Blue Higgins or Judkins and pick up Loveland, Benson, Cam Ward, or someone else?
How was Loveland on the waiver wire?
Go pick up Loveland. I don't need to see the rest. Go pick up Loveland again.
Blue, get him off your team.
Who's the other? Jaden Higgins or Judkins? Yeah, drop Jaden Blue and soon enough drop Judkins.
I think the Cowboys might drop Jaden Blue here pretty soon.
No. He's a guarantee to make the team. Miles Sanders
off his injury, yeah, he is. But I actually think it would have been possible that he got cut.
Miles Sanders was always going to get cut.
I hope he doesn't because I have bags, unfortunately.
I told you to stop taking them in like fucking August.
Watching to Miles Sanders was inherently a stupid idea, but like, I don't know. My mind logically was like, well, he's been the best of anyone in this backfield.
Yeah.
Anyways, we can continue going here.
That's just a market inefficiency, by the way. In no way possible he should be going after Ted, in my opinion. As much as I like Ted McMillan, I haven't wavered at all.
Have him ranked ahead of McMillan in redraft, so we're not the right people to ask about that.
Yeah, I've had Travis ranked in my late second round of my Dynasty rankings, literally since he got drafted.
After in startups and in redraft. Yeah. Is he still being picked late? If the market hasn't adjusted in startups, especially because in redraft, it's like, okay, maybe you make the argument he gets out to a slow.
That's more reasonable. Yeah.
But like in Dynasty, if people haven't made the adjustment to taking him over McMillan in startups, I think that's just straight up confirmation bias for people.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. The market should be on the page.
Dude. And hopefully, dude, when Travis Hunter goes out there and touches blades of glass. Wow, that's not what he should be touching. And he touches the blades of grass in week 1, and he puts up an 8 for 133 and 2 touchdown performance. And the market realizes, oh fuck, we let the second overall generational talent fall to the fucking 6th round of our redraft leagues. I'm just ready for the fucking moment to happen. People are gonna realize that they were favoring generational talent over concerns about whether or not he would play 80% of the snaps. Guess what? If the guy's making plays on the field, you think Liam Cohn's incentivized to fucking take him off of it?
No, definitely
Sorry.
not.
A little tangent, but dude, I cannot wait to just watch this guy.
Yeah, no, I to be honest with you, I'm really sick of you talking about Travis Hunter. Like, I cannot stand to listen. Like, if you never mention Travis Hunter again, I will be so happy because I am literally so sick of you talking about him.
It's impossible for you.
I would love for if you're going to talk about him, I would like it to be plays on the field that are being made as opposed to like, you hypothetically calling him Odell Beckham the third for the 700th time.
That's a great nickname though. You have to admit it.
or saying that it's going to be that, like, I know your argument for Travis Hunter like the back of my hand. It's going to be like the Steelers, where it's Juju and Antonio Brown. It's a consolidated offense. I've heard you make the Hunter case 400,000 times.
All the different variations of it too. I have to keep it a little bit fresh every time, but like have similar nuts and bolts.
Yeah. Also, this said team review, but for some reason there was absolutely no team linked in here. So CPT Flint,
you want me to send him one?
Yeah, send him a voucher because he paid $30 for a team review, and I cannot see his team. So send him a voucher, and if CPT Flint, if you are listening to this, resubmit your team, but make sure you've loaded it into the My Teams page properly, because for whatever reason, we couldn't see it on the back end, and we're not having any other issues with any other team. So I'm assuming
we want to make sure you get your value too. So it was CPT Clint.
Yeah, CPT Flint.
Flint, my apologies. Flint, Captain Flint, annual mother flocker. Again, appreciate you for that. And I do see it right here. Boom. Give you a team review and confirm that.
Brock said, keep going. I'm almost there. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah, by the way, if you guys do want to hear some more Travis Hunter Glaze, go check out Danny's 10 picks by round. The 10 players that I am betting my fantasy season on. Spoiler alert, 40% Travis Hunter indicates that I'm betting my entirety of my underdog portfolio on him.
Yeah, also, I just made all the arguments that Danny made in that video. So if you want to hear something fresh said about Travis Hunter, you will not find it there. But I did, the one fresh thing that came away from that video is that I detailed like the 3 million reports I've put in the manifesto about Travis Hunter and what his usage will look like. Because I've been just as much as Danny, I've been going through the Hunter ringer with the training camp reports, because I figured it was going to be really important.
You guys know I ain't no fraud. Look at that ownership percentage. Look at that drafted percentage right there. 36.7%. More than one of every 3 drafts, I am leaving it with Travis Hunter.
Yeah, dude. I'm so excited to see Avery's 8.3% Travis Hunter.
Oh, buddy, fuck you. Whenever you got to wear 4 condoms, you got to do it.
Dude, I'm just like, especially when we're in a situation where we're like drafting as many teams as we can, like, what isn't it just so much more fun when you had a take and you were just like, yeah, fuck you guys, dude. Like last year, you know how much fun I had watching Saquon Barkley dominate every week, knowing I had 25% of a second round player in ADP. Dude. It was just so much more fun than drafting 8.3% of every single player.
Also, Zeno, spoiler alert, I'm already there on Jeremiah Smith. I already claimed him. In fact, when I claimed him, Corey said, oh, how are you taking a freshman receiver with the first pick in the Devy draft?
For what it's worth, like 1 every 100 times they become Jeremiah Smith.
Hey,
like Corey and Moore will probably have 200 yards this year, and everyone's gonna like spend a top 6 pick on him. Like people took Zachariah Branch with the first pick in Devy drafts like 2 years ago.
That was egregious, but I will say, dude, when I saw that guy play football, I'm like, holy fuck! I just drafted. I keep saying this for Nico Collins, but the real Julio Jones Jr. is just Jeremiah Smith, right?
Yeah, I feel like this offseason I made a conscious effort to be less emotionally invested in players, less biased about players. And I think Danny did the opposite, if I'm being honest. I think you've gotten more emotionally invested in players than you were last year.
More convicted. Dude, if I'm going to have a conviction, I am going to bet my fantasy season on players that I think are going to be good fantasy assets. And if I'm at risk of being called biased for it because I believe in my own takes, I believe in my own research, so be it. Hey, Avery, you can take 8.3% of every single person on your portfolio. That's perfectly reasonable. I'll play fantasy the way I want to play. I want 37% Travis Hunter. I'm going to take some fucking 37% Travis Hunter and not bat an eye.
Yeah, it is way more fun the way that we do it for what it's worth. Okay. Cooper Smash Bros here. R. Collet. Hey guys, just finished up a rookie draft and wanted to get an idea on how to move forward for the season. I've had a lot of interest for Nico, which Danny would need his firstborn child to be sent away for, from North Central Mud Dogs. But we never got a deal done. I realize I probably need to pivot away from Henry as well. What are your thoughts? Thank you. So looking at the team, he points out that Henry obviously is on the aging side. It is a dynasty 1 quarterback, 12 team starts 7. And generally it looks like a pretty shallow dynasty league as well, because, you know, there's not that many players rostered on his team. I guess based on the team name that he gave us, we'll look at the Nico thing in a second, but looking at the team in general, in a one quarterback league, Hurts, McCarthy's just fine. Kyron and Derrick Henry's a little weak at running back just because, you don't have a lot of depth behind them. Wide receiver wise, you're in great shape. London, Collins, Metcalf, and those guys, but you definitely could be, using some depth there as well. But in a start 7, it's not as big of a deal. And then Loveland and Njoku and Ferguson and Fannin is a great tight end core. And it looks like he's missing his 2 and 3 in 2026. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on the team? It seems like it's lacking one firepower running back and also some depth all across the board, I would say, is basically my read on the situation here.
Yeah, no, I think that makes sense. For me, again.
Sorry, I was just going to go to the other team. Keep going.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Sorry, my bad.
Okay, so the North Central Mud Dogs is this team, I guess, I would assume. And he said, we never got a deal done. So he's had a lot of interest on Nico. I mean, if you can get Hampton off of him in exchange for Nico, that would leave you way too weak at wide receiver, though. So, I
wouldn't want to do.
If he's going to give you McConkey plus like a 1 or something, then I would do it then. But
but McConkey
that,
plus Harvey, are you doing that
in a 1 for Nico?
I probably would.
It's a start 7, 1 quarterback though.
It's
that
close.
One's going to be a little bit.
Okay, how about this? McConkey plus RJ Harvey for Nico Collins.
Yeah, that I would do. I would do.
Try it.
Or even Judkins too, if he's really worried about the Judkins situation. I'd be okay doing McConkey and Judkins for Nico as well. Yeah, you kind of need to find a way to get yourself some hammers at running back. And so the initial thing he said, do I sell Derrick Henry or should I sell kind of Derrick Henry here? Would you look at this team and go, yeah, this team probably can't compete. I'm selling Derrick Henry. Because if you can't compete, if you're not a top 3 team in your league, you should not have Derrick Henry on your roster.
I think this team's got a chance. Now, I want to look at the other teams in the league before I concretely say, but I mean, you have an advantage at quarterback. You have probably one of the better wide receiver cores in the league. I mean,
but he's like 8th in the analyzer, 9th in the analyzer.
Yeah, but he's got some win now equity. That's the thing. Like he's kind of like at a point where
his team's not better than this guy's.
I just saw my answer. That guy's team is
his team is not better than this guy's.
Okay, so let's go back down to the team because we made our decision.
The guy that he wanted to do the trade with. The reason he's buying Nico is because his team's better too.
Yeah. Okay. So that just cleared our answer. Let's go back to his team and let's sell off some parts.
Did he say North Central? Oh, North Central. Hold on. Maybe it was this team. Oh yeah, no, that was the right team that I had.
Yeah.
But I would say you're probably wanting to strip Derrick Henry and Kyron off of this team based on the state of the other teams in this league.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get a little, if that's the case, then Jalen Hurts, if you get a big offer for him, you can sell him. If not,
it's a 1 quarterback league, so you're probably not going to get a huge offer for him.
I'm totally comfortable keeping him. He is young enough to the point where even if he retooled for a couple of years, he'd still be able to give you a high-end quarterback production. Kyron Williams and Derrick Henry. Kyron Williams, maybe you can sell high off of the extension news. I think that would make sense. He's a little bit of a limited asset. Derrick Henry, probably somebody you need to sell in season, but if he's given, mid to high-end RB1 production, maybe you can get like a first plus of value at that point, or maybe just a first straight up. The thing is like I also would want to charge a little bit considering it is a start 7 league. People might see the point equity that Derrick Henry has given you. You might be able to tax on a little bit of a premium on that. But for the most part, again, if you can get younger across the board, you do have a couple wide receivers I believe in. Maybe Nico Collins, you can transition into a Ladd McConkey plus, a Travis Hunter plus, get a little bit younger there, maybe bank another first round pick in terms of insulation. And David Njoku is also speaking out. If he's given, he's averaging 9 targets per game with Joe Flacco, and he's a mid-tight end one to start the year. There should be a team that would be interested, especially given, like I said, start 7 nature, a tight end that can give you a good amount of production.
Yeah, how do you feel about Njoku right now? Because early in the offseason, you were like kind of all in on him, and the range of outcomes that we needed to play out did, which is Flacco's going to start.
I got higher on the guys around him. That's the issue.
Yeah, I think, to be honest with you, not in Dynasty because Kraft is younger, but in redraft, I still think you can make the argument that Njoku maybe should be ahead of Kraft given the target competition or the lack of target competition in Cleveland.
I think that's a reasonable take. Now, they're close enough to the point where if I look at my tight end rankings, I have David Njoku at 10 and I have Tucker Kraft at 8. So it's not like there's like a big discrepancy there. I still would prefer Kraft, but again, like David Njoku, Travis Kelce, Jake Ferguson, I have closer there, but I'm actually going to change that. I'm going to put Njoku in that tier because, like you said, the passing projection did get a lot better if Joe Flacco is going to be starting, which sounds crazy. Again, geriatric Joe Flacco, but we have seen that guy's
slinging it, man.
That's what I mean. That guy has adapted the the quarterback, throw him in, Uncle Rico style. You're getting 47 pass attempts.
Dude, they threw 36 times a game with him last year in Indianapolis. And the year that Flacco obviously won comeback player of the year, they were chucking it like crazy. And Amari Cooper was a league winner for people that season too. So, and last year we saw the Browns throw with Jameis like crazy too. And Flacco is basically the same type of quarterback where he's just going to absolutely rip it down the field as much as he can. So yeah, I mean, my opinion on that tier of quarterback or of tight end, has always been I'll just take kind of whoever falls to me, whether it's like Kraft, Njoku, if I don't get the rookies or whatever. But yeah, that was just my thought on Njoku from like a redraft perspective, because I do think his projection has changed a little bit in the last couple of weeks, last couple of months there. So yeah, I would probably try and shed some assets. Like there's 4 or 5 teams in this league that are going to be like arms racing for sure. Yeah. Like it looks like these guys are locked and loaded. They're ready to go. Like you need to be. What I would be doing in your situation is,
hear me out, by the way.
Give me your 1 and 2 in 2027, not in 2026 for Derrick Henry. Like that's what I'd be doing for teams like this.
Hear me out. This sounds hilarious, but if you know these guys in real life, let's just say they're your buddies in real life. You know what you do? There's 4 or 5 of them that are top that are clearly competing to try to win this year. If you know these guys in real life, literally add them to a fucking group chat and say, I see you guys are trying to compete. If you need some assets, hit me up. Say it in a group chat so then they can all realize like, oh shit, maybe it is us 5. Maybe we are competing for the same assets. Oh my God, I got to beat these
Send them the screenshot from our site that they're the top 5 teams in the league.
Gas them, bro. Like glaze them. Treat them like Travis Hunter.
Get your buddies drunk and take advantage of them.
That's another good point. I did that at the meetup.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I wasn't drunk yet. I just made a dumbass trade and didn't get anything in return. I need DJ Giddens to be the starting back for the Colts, or I'm going to get scared about the depth pieces that I traded away in that deal. And honestly, my best ball bags would be very happy if that happened as well, because I think he's like my 3rd or 4th highest owned player on Best Ball Mania. But yeah, try and shed this production. We can move on probably to the next team here.
Real quick. Dylan's just coming back. I'm assuming you just saw your review. If Lamb owner's a Cowboys fan, might be tough. He also says that the Drake London owner is a 16-year-old Falcons fan. Might be tough there, but the premise remains. If you can consolidate, you can get a big-time wide receiver asset to anchor that wide receiver core. Dude, like your wide receiver depth is absurd. And I'm sure you know that. And like I said, if you can get Dylan Sampson for free in exchange for whether it's Cade Auden or whether it's a guy like Rashad White, I think it would be necessary to do on your team. So a little recap there, because I know you have the attention span of a goldfish. So I know you didn't want to go back and scroll for it.
Oh, yeah. Don't get your buddies drunk if underage. Yeah,
that's a good point. Like, Dylan, hopefully nobody was feeding you drinks. Like, I'm concerned for you.
Michael, we're going to have to do this one off stream because it looks like this is like flea flicker or something like that. So we are unable to do that one on the
I see Michael in chat as well. Probably worthy. Yeah. So Michael, like Corey said, because it's on flea flicker, it's just a little bit harder to be able to negotiate it, to be able to organize it on stream. Usually what we'll do there is we'll record you a little file unlisted on YouTube and then send that back to you directly.
Yeah, you'll get a file from one of us, like a 7 or 8 minute diatribe on your team there. It's a little bit more focused. We won't probably go on a Garrett Wilson rant anyways. But Big Leg Bill, shout out for the team name. But he is him and this other guy here are 12,000 ahead of every other team in the league.
My
so
God.
This is a 2-man race here between these two teams at the top.
Let's just say they might have to hire a cleaner for that woodshed.
Yeah, holy cow, dude. Look at the receiver core on this dude. Neighbors, Nakua, Thomas, and Hunter. I mean, behind those guys, you're pretty yikes with a bunch of zeros pretty much. But yeah, Genty, Hampton, Henderson. It looks like Joe is probably coming out of like a big rebuild because he got a lot of young players, a lot of players probably in last year's rookie class, this year's rookie class. And he still has somebody else's 1 and 2 in 2026. Whereas Noble Raptor all the way down with a 6,000.
How does he not have his own picks? What did this guy do? Hey, but
hopefully you heard the trombone sound that I just played there, because this guy not having his own picks is absolutely disgusting, dude.
What was he doing?
He's got your boy Fancy Isaiah Likely. He's like his 4th best player on his team.
Yeah, bro. I mean, Noah Gray's going to take this guy to the promised land. Just watch.
That's insane. Okay, well, good on you for having this guy's 1 and 2 this year. And he also has 2 more ones in 2027. Hopefully, okay, he's got this guy's 1 in 2027 as well. And I think, was it this guy's 1 too?
Noble Raptor.
Purple something? Yeah, dude, this guy's got
He's got Jamar Chase in the squad.
Yeah, dude. If I were in your position, man, like you have Brian Thomas and Travis Hunter, and this guy probably wants his own first back. I would offer him one of those two Jaguars receivers plus his own one back to get Jamar Chase plus some competitive assets from him.
Yeah, especially if it's BTJ. Maybe you get Brian Thomas Jr. plus his one, and you get Jamar Chase. But would you do it for Chase plus like Kamara?
I think you might even be able to get Olave too.
Yeah,
out of him, to be honest.
Maybe or maybe Kamara and Evans or something like
and
that.
Tell him he sucks at this. Go, dude. Your team is shit. I'll give you a young receiver, guys younger than Jamar Chase, and your own one back. You need to rebuild this thing stat because you are awful at this. That's basically what you got to tell this guy.
You know what you do? You screenshot a picture of the My Team's analyzer, and if this is your close boy, you put it onto a photograph, you print it out, and you send him a video of you pissing on him and say, "This is your team."
Yeah, no, exactly.
If he's your friend, obviously, if he's not your friend, then that's probably not the best idea.
Yeah, Carter said he's getting a review when he tries to go to the Get Your Team Reviewed link. Here, I'll send it to you in the chat one more time, just in case you're unable to do it there. But you should be able to just follow the link that I just sent into the live chat there, and then you should see the options. And Carter, I don't know if you're new around here, you know how it works, but basically the team reviews, you'll get a free one if you're an annual mother flocker using code FSE. So if you're wondering, how much does it cost and that kind of thing, the best bang for your buck is just sign up annually on the site. You'll be covered from now all the way till next redraft season. And if you're a Dynasty player, which I'm sure you are if you're in the stream, that would cover you through the rookie draft cycle and all that stuff. So that would be the best way to go about things. But hopefully that link works for you. It says I'm getting an error after that. Try a different browser. Try logging out and logging back in, refreshing your page. Maybe after the stream is over, restarting your PC or something like that. I would say you should be fine. There shouldn't be any issues with it. But if there is an issue on the site, just go to site issues in the Discord and ask the devs, and they can help you out with that. But try refreshing your page or using a different browser.
For sure. We also, I guess, Bush spoiled a little bit because I think that was the plan, right?
Yeah, I think so. I wish I had a better way to put it in front of me so I could use it easier without me like going to the side like that. I should probably just have it on my desk here.
Sam should be coming out today, and let's just say your boy's on the thumbnail, and both of us were the stars of the show.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think it might be live.
It might be. With that being said, we got.
It is not live. It is not live yet, but it'll be live very shortly, I think.
That was crazy, by the way. When's the cutoff for submissions for the fan league? So we're gonna be drawing Saturday, we said, right?
Yeah, we're gonna draw Saturday at noon, and the actual draft will be live on YouTube Sunday at 7 p.m. So when Saturday at noon, we're gonna send out all the invites, get everybody into the league. By Sunday morning, if somebody hasn't responded, we'll respin and we'll get another person into the league instead. And then on Sunday night at 7 p.m. we'll be drafting the team. But yeah, cutoff for submissions will be Saturday afternoon. For those of you wondering.
This made me laugh, by the way. Telling someone they're awful while talking trade negotiations.
Hey, use our My Teams feature, guys. Yeah. You don't have to tell them they're awful. Just show them where their team is in the My Teams feature.
Just send them a ... Yikes. Let's fix this.
Yeah, like what I like to do, here's the polite way of going about things. What I like to do is send them an offer and then go, just curious if you're interested in rebuilding or something. I figure you'd want your first back. Maybe Brian Thomas Jr. for Jamar Chase makes sense because he's a little bit younger. And then if they say, no, I'm competing or something stupid, like that guy can't compete, obviously, then you go, well, this is what your My Team's analyzer says. I think if I were in your position, maybe I'd consider rebuilding. That's usually how I would word things. I wouldn't actually tell them that they're awful, but I would be thinking it.
We do have Joe in the chat, by the way. Either way you slice it, either you spend those first and upgrade already a monster team that is probably already the championship favorite, but you'd even solidify it. Or guess what? Those two teams are fucking urine. They are fucking piss. If you do want to hold them and you do want to monopolize every single good wide receiver in Dynasty, you have the luxury to do that as well.
Yeah, it would be insane if you walked out of this with like the 7 or 8 best receivers in Dynasty or something like that. Carter says, does the trial work or do I need the actual one? Yeah, you can. Unfortunately, you cannot get a team review with just a free trial, but you can check out the trial if you decide you want to stay a member of the site. And obviously, also, you do get a chance to use it before you submit anything.
And if you do sign up for an annual, you will get a free team review included with that.
Yeah. So you'll get the free team review. But if you want to check it out first for the 7 days, see how the trial goes, and then maybe check it out after that. Pressure. FSE takeover this year? Hell the fuck yes, dude. We are cooking this year.
Hey, all I'm going to say, you guys are going to see the schedule when it drops, but there was some beef that was going on for that. And let's just say me and Corey are quite excited about our schedule.
Yeah, well, and the way that the schedules work this year, I don't want to announce anything in case it's not announced, but essentially
Don't announce anything in case.
Optimize the schedule so that the creators play each other twice. I could say that. We're going to have rivals and guys that we go up against more often than not, but we optimize the schedule so that the creators are all playing specific weeks. So that we don't have, a bunch of people playing the devs in the important weeks.
So that nobody loses on an Amarni Aruari gunner muffed punt against Joe.
Yeah, exactly. Danny, I see why you are the Mad Lad. The Mad Lad's a great team name
Mad
for you,
Lad. Dude,
I can't imagine who's Bush's rival. I think it'd be pretty easy to piece together who my rival would be.
The week I play Zach, I have to do a bit of being the Mad Lad and put on like a Joker bit because he was Batman.
Or just put on the Mad Hatter thing from Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, I Joker would work though because he did the whole Batman thing.
Yeah, that bit landed pretty poorly by all indications.
Dude, people were like,
people in BDG's comments specifically were like, "What is he doing, dude?"
Dude, some of the comments were calling us just nerds, just virgins. That's all they were saying in the comments.
Yeah, no, for sure. I moved
on. Don't worry,
to the
we
next team in the meantime. There, we were pretty much beyond that point, right? We were done with that team. Sorry, I probably should have checked with you before I did that.
You're good. Hey, don't worry, we fuck. Okay.
All right. So yeah, Michael, we'll get to your team after, but we do have a couple more trade questions. Another team from Ginger Ale here. Trade question: Dynasty 1 quarterback, start 9. Pearsall, Chase Brown, early to mid projected first, early to mid projected second for Saquon and Brandon Ayuk. I mean, this is the Chase Brown side, right?
Yeah, I think this is too much insulation to pass up.
I mean, Pearsall probably needs to be ahead of Ayuk in my dynasty rankings, to be honest with you. But yeah, Chase Brown plus a 1 and a 2 for Saquon. I'm doing that all day.
I thought the Batman bit was hilarious. Yeah, if you knew the bit, you knew it. If you didn't, it seemed like, what the fuck is this guy doing? For those of you that didn't know the bit, there was an audition that we had. A guy called himself Black Batman and dressed up in a Batman costume, and Zach was paying homage to him. But for those that didn't watch that specific video, they're probably like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, no, if you had no idea what the bits
Nick
were.
Chill. Nick's chill. I saw worse in the trivia comments.
We got roasted enough in the trivia comments. We're pretty used to it by now, but the guys who weren't in the trivia tournament have probably no idea what was coming there. My redraft team name this year is Unk/Uncle, my official pronouns there, but that would only apply to me. Redraft team names, I usually just like to base it around players I have on my team. So, I mean, I liked that the Io Manor one that the guy had there. Mind Yo Manners or whatever. It was pretty cool. But yeah, like whatever your team name is definitely makes sense there.
Might have to hit up Mason for some merch ideas. Mad Lad with like a picture of me looking furious on the front would actually do numbers.
Oh yeah, dude. The plan, and like initially Mason wanted us to like have official team names for our Flock League team and then like potentially sell merchandise if people were interested in it. But we kind of need to solidify what our team names are. Like I will not be changing my team name all year. Like I'm going to be Unk/Uncle all year. And I do want to, just for my own purposes, like make a shirt that says Unk on it or something.
Sorry, he says, fuck, I did the wrong one. Which one did you do, Carter? Which one?
If you're Jonathan Drafts and you just signed up for an annual, then you should be fine. But your name is Carter IX, so maybe you're not that. But Carter IX could be a reference to Lil Wayne's albums. So I don't know if your name is Carter or if you're just referencing Carter because it's your name. He said, don't worry, I'm working it out. Okay, yeah, if you made a mistake, you could just reach out to the devs and they can help you out.
Yeah, also cannot wait for the personal consultations that Dylan will be sending me to snipe Bush in the draft.
Yeah, for sure. Joe, unfortunately, we had a lot of teams that we broke down here, so we probably will not be giving out any vouchers today, but we'll be doing more. We'll be doing more stuff for sure.
Probably will be vibing, working on the Dynasty rankings tonight. Getting ready, by the way, tomorrow I will be dropping my top 5 sleepers. About halfway done that sheet. I'm going to try to get as far as ahead as I can on that because, as you guys can figure out, it's a biggie week. Biggie week. Wow. Busy week. This is a busy week for us at FSE. If you're just new to the channel, I mean, we're talking 1 to 2 uploads a day, and we're trying to get as far ahead as we possibly can on it so we don't feel miserable on the weekend.
Yeah, for sure. And Carter, that's totally fine. Just so you know, you don't get a team review if you do.
You don't get it with a monthly.
If that's with what you want to pay, that's totally fine. Yeah. We appreciate the support no matter what. But if you're looking for the team review, you do not get one with a monthly. I just wanted to warn you about that. But yeah, that was the side of the deal that we liked there. B Cohen 231. We can move to the next trade. Start sit question again. I'm guessing he's just deciding between.
This is our Colts.
Nick Chubb, Caleb Johnson, Javonte Williams. If I had to choose which one of these guys to start in week 1, I would probably start Nick Chubb, knowing that Mixon's going to be out for the first couple weeks. It's got to
be Chubb. Dude, like Mixon might miss the year.
Yeah, Mixon. I don't know if he's going to miss the whole year, but he's going to miss some time for sure.
Yep. Mad Lad with an Italian theme. Dude, me looking angry with like an Italian flag in the background and it just says Mad Lad on the shirt would do numbers.
It would be pretty funny. It would be pretty funny. I just want to get you know, like those I'm with stupid t-shirts. I just want to get one that says Unc/Uncle and it's just pointing up at me.
Jesus. That is the most Unk shirt of Unk shirts.
Yeah, no, for sure. But anyways, here we got Nick Chubb is how we would go in that start sit question. Can you just buy a team review? Yes, Carter, you can just buy a team review, and you can. I'm just telling you the annual thing because it's a better bang for your buck. Because you'd be a site subscriber for the whole year, and you would get the team review for free as a result. But if you want to just be on a monthly and buy a team review, you will have a 30% discount on the team review price. But just to give you an idea, it's going to be about 80% of the total cost of an annual Mother Flocker package. So you'd probably be better off just buying that.
If you're getting one team review, it's a lot more valuable to just get the annual because you'll be covered for our rankings for the year. And it basically costs as much as a team review would. I mean, if you just want to get the team review, it would actually be more beneficial to us. But I just feel like you would get more value by doing it through the annual.
Yeah, no, for sure. So we got another start sit question from Kobe here. He'd be deciding between Breece Hall, Ricky Pearsall, Chris Olave primarily, I would say. Again, way early on the matchups. Here. I have no clue who these guys are playing right now. Just in a vacuum, I would say without Jennings potentially week 1 and probably without Ayuk as well, I might lean towards Pearsall here.
I think you got to go Breece, dude. Honestly, I think you do.
Who are the Jets playing week 1?
Jets. Oh my God, I haven't even looked at it actually.
Yeah, no, I have no idea who we're a week and a half away from the season starting. I have no idea. They're going to play the Steelers, which is a pretty tough front. That they.
Oh, right. Yeah, I should have known that. I have Jalen Warren. I could have saw that matchup. I'm still going with Breece Hall, dude. Honestly, like if you pick them in the 4th round, like
you probably got to start. You got to start him. I would imagine. Maybe I'm being dumb there, but I figured Pearsall is going to be a good early season play just in general because of Jennings potentially being banged up and Ayuk being out.
No, this is the season pass. Season pass is $35. Annual says it charged up front is the whole.
It's the whole $97.30. It's the whole $97.30 that's charged up front. It costs $8 a month prorated, but it is the whole $87.30 or $97.30. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I agree, Joe. That'd be comedy, by the way. I love the content. I've played your videos on Drive every day. I've just checked my team. And it looks like sounds like ball, and it sounds like the hard work watching our videos has paid off. Love to see that there, Joe. I would, but I'm flying to Georgia. I live in the UK, so I can't afford it. It's all good. I can just limit with my own opinions. Yeah, no worries, bro. No pressure at all. Again, if you ever change your mind, that is the most efficient way, but we're never going to pressure anybody into doing something that they're not comfortable with. So again, appreciate you. Deshaun Watson should take that advice, by the way.
Facts. Yeah, you should definitely take that advice, Deshaun, and Justin Tucker too. Single digits away from. I looked at our subscriber count because I was like, are we like away from 69 or something? Is that what he's referring to? We're not that close yet. We're like 200 away from 69690 or 696.
Also, Carter, I'm not really too familiar with Domains Bakery, but I'm sure like Avery and Nathan would be able to help you with there. Like, I haven't really.
Yeah, I have like
other tiers work.
The way that the site works is we all do our own thing. So their stuff, like I know what their draft guide looks like, and but I have absolutely no knowledge of any of their stuff there.
Yeah. Also, I mean, we are basically what? I mean, was that 9 days away exactly? I mean, that would make sense. Single digits, 9 days away from watching Cowboys versus Eagles Thursday Night Football. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. He's asking about our prospect model. Okay. So the Godfather thing is the prospect draft tier based on where they're going to go in rookie drafts. So if, for example, you have a first round receiver who is a 90+% FSE model grade, the word Godfather just means that you're going to draft them basically no matter what, and you're going to aggressively trade up for them. If you need more information on that, I would suggest watching the wide receivers to target and avoid or the running backs to target and avoid video from the rookie cycle in May. If you just search wide receivers to target and avoid in 2025 rookie drafts or whatever, that'll give you a lot more information on how the prospect model works, because me explaining everything will take me forever. But basically, it just means relative to their draft capital, how good of a prospect are they? So you can be like a smash pick because you were a 3rd-round running back who projects way better than where he's going to go in rookie drafts, essentially. What Marv came out as, he was a godfather, and he was the 2nd best prospect in the history of the model, only behind Malik Neighbors. So that's where he was at. This trade from Outlying Daddy here, I'm assuming somebody's trying to fleece you for your handcuff. That would be my only thing why you would ever even remotely think of accepting this.
What the
You probably have CMC, and that's why he's offering you this, I would imagine.
You know when you text that guy, you say, hey, brother, appreciate the offer, but fucking pound sand.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do this for Loveland, not even close. So even if Brian Robinson was still on the Commanders, I probably wouldn't have done this.
Yeah, I don't know how he got to this. Like, this guy is this guy smoking? The
guy definitely goes, hey, you have Christian McCaffrey. Let me fleece you for Brian Robinson.
Appreciate that, by the way.
It's 100% what happened.
Looks like the last team review is going to be Ginger Rail, and then I think we should be all ready to roll.
Yep. Yeah, we should be able to hop off out of here after this. Lisan Al Caleb. I still don't get this reference. I hear people say like Lisan Al this, but I still don't know what this reference is.
You don't know the reference?
No. Do you know what it is?
Of course.
It's Lisan Al Gib, right? Isn't that what the reference is?
What's his name? The character, what movie is it? Fucking Timothy Chalamet plays it.
Dune.
Oh my God. Dune, yeah. It's one of the main characters. It's in the JID new album too. Lisan Al Gaib.
Bro, if it didn't come out in 1996 or earlier, I don't know it because I'm an old man.
Yeah,
so
everybody's spamming Dune in the comments as well.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is.
I believe there's.
I barely know who Timothy Chalamet is, to be honest.
I believe there was 9 spots available.
10. Where there's 2 of us.
I thought. Yeah, I'm an idiot.
It did come out that long ago. Oh, is Timothy Chalamet that old? I thought he was like a new school TikTok guy.
What?
Dune didn't come out that long ago. It's probably like 2010 or something.
I mean, that was a long time ago, Unk.
2021 it came out. What do you mean it came out a long time ago?
You said 2010 is not long ago? Dylan was 1 years old.
He said 1970s, 2000s, and 2020s version. Okay, yeah, specifically the Timothy Chalamet version I wouldn't know, but yeah, the movie Dune I've heard of. I've just never seen it.
Lisan Al Gaib.
But anyways, Ginger Ale's team, we're gonna do the thing that Guess Bush doesn't bring. What the fuck, dude? That's crazy, Joe. Absolutely crazy. Anyways, just traded Waller for Brooks. Ugh. I mean, they're both kind of useless fantasy assets, so it's whatever if you want to go.
Is this just an FSC OG league? I see Slat Squatch in there. Obviously, Ginger Ale. Let's see if we have any of the old class.
Shaken Bacon is BD Bacon, I think.
Yeah, BD Bacon. And we got the boys cooking.
Got a couple lads in here. Look at AJ's fucking picks, dude.
What a fucking asshole. I love you. Sorry, what does he ask? What's the question that he has with you?
Any guys I should try and buy?
So you want some specifics.
I mean, this is a team that you just do nothing with, right? Like you wait for Ayuk to get back on the field. You sell him once he's back on the field. But for the most part, you're just going to be sitting on your picks. I guess taking buy windows when you can is definitely worthwhile. Instead of just saying this is something you do nothing with and ending your review, because obviously there's like your team is set up perfectly to dominate in this league. The one thing I do have, we do remember a couple years ago. Do you remember when Joe Burrow got hurt and he was out for the season, and there was a little bit of a buying window where like the Kyler Murray tier of quarterback could have got you Joe Burrow? If anybody like that goes down at any point this year, guess what you do? You make a fucking offer. If it's Joe Burrow, if it's maybe Bo Nix, Neighbors or something goes down, or whoever it is, guess what? You have all the liquidity in the world, and you know what's an asset that nobody's going to turn down ever? Draft picks. Exactly. Yeah, and I would say only for like the top 20 or so ADP dynasty startup guys. Like if a wide receiver 3 goes down, I wouldn't be necessarily buying on them. But if it's a locked and loaded stud fantasy football asset there. Yeah, 9 firsts in 2026 and 5 in 2027. This is a brag team that you submitted. Just the amount of being able to collect that many picks is just a skill. Can we also talk about them? You called Timothy Chalamet like a TikToker when he's literally older than you. That's not the point. You guys know what I mean by he's a TikToker. It means that he's popular amongst young people. I mean, all right, Unk. Yeah, like again, the people that I know are like from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s because I'm old as hell at heart, even though I'm not actually that old.
Yeah.
That's why I'm Unk. That's why the team name makes sense because I literally am exactly. Watch Dune, please. Okay. Should I watch the old ones? Because I don't really want to watch the Timothy Chalamet one just because I assume it inherently is worse.
Bush is a closeted geriatric.
Yeah. Which one should I watch? Which is the best one?
The newer ones are the two that people have hyped up. Also, AJ, you're absurd, and I fucking love you for it. Like that, I needed to see those picks, and it just reminds me. I mean, you've seen my situation in O'Flocken as well.
The Timmy one is the best one. Okay.
And unfortunately, if you're already on an annual membership, you cannot switch. However, whenever the trial or period of time, so for example, whatever date it was that you signed up, whenever it expires, you can change your promo code then. But when you're currently on trial, you are on that promo code, I believe.
Yeah, and unfortunately, there's no way for you to get into the listener league unless you were to make a second account, which we don't really want to ask that of you if you've already a site subscriber. The one thing I could say to you, Sam, is if you don't have an Underdog account, you get 4 entries bonus for using our Underdog promo code. So if you've never used an Underdog promo code or you tell a friend about Underdog or whatever, you can get 4 bonus entries that way if you've already been a site subscriber. So that would be another way that you can get some bonus entries.
Yep, that was good comms from Unk. The one was Zendaya. I mean, that is the one that
in the movie, watching. I guess.
Yeah. Timmy is him from Joe Blacko.
Crazy. That is Timmy is him.
What the hell are you selling for picks, AJ? Yeah, I mean, quarterback would be the only thing. Dan, you fuck with George Pickens? I absolutely do. I have Underdog and Flock with. I mean, no, Mason's a smart guy. We love Mason.
Yeah, and like I said, if you tell a friend about Underdog and they would use Underdog, we'll give you credit for that as long as you just put their email in the thing. Yeah, dude, on the back end, we have to check whose email signed up. So if you tell a friend about Underdog and they use an Underdog code and sign up and make a play on Underdog, then maybe your uncle get credit for that as long as you have their email that you can put into the form.
I mean, maybe your uncle's never played Underdog before and you can put them on and say, hey, use promo code FSE. Hey, that'll count as well.
That will count as well. I really hope you can make a how to draft a hilarious meme team video for those of us that do fantasy football for laughs. Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's got to be some smarter meme folks out there that could do a better job of that than me for sure. Any chance we can link an MFL team in the site? Yeah, unfortunately, MFL is fucking. You want to talk about
it? Is, dude. Oh my god,
Unk City. The only platforms we can link in the site, I believe, are Sleeper, ESPN, and Yahoo, because MFL and Flea Flicker are super Unk, and they don't let us get that back end information.
I'm gonna keep it a stack every time I see an MFL review in my review section. I'm like, oh, because they are the hardest to get through because you have the least amount of information to go off of. Honestly, for the betterment of your own review, having it on, just convince all your leagues to go to Sleeper and read or in Dynasty. Like, it's
2025. There's no reason to be on Flea Flicker or My Fantasy League at this point in time. Yeah, literally, I didn't even read that comment before he said it.
Yeah, it's tough. I actually did do this, by the way. When my dad had his tanning salon back in like 2006, 2007, I would just go there when he was like working because obviously like I needed someone to watch me sometimes. And while he was doing work and setting up like the appointments for the tanning beds and everything like that, I would be on the main company computer just playing Minesweeper and fucking everything like that.
I was a 3D pinball guy for sure. That was my Roller Coaster Tycoon and 3D pinball were the games of choice. My brother was a big 3D pinball guy. I was more Roller Coaster Tycoon. Those were our shit back in the day for sure.
What was the one on the old Blackberries?
Brick Breaker?
Is that what it's called? Where you shoot like the fucking Brick Breaker? Yeah, dude. I used to go ham on some of those runs. Like a lot. Dylan's probably like, Unk, what are you talking about? Brick Breaker, Minesweeper. I know iPad.
A fetus when Brick Breaker came out. So
yeah, dude. For him, he says all I know is iPad.
Yeah, facts. iPad kids, man.
Oh yeah.
What else we got here? Yeah, we could probably close out the stream here. Flock League video is mad late. I can double check when it's slated to go live just to give you guys an update because it's probably scheduled at the moment. If I switch account,
I played Snake on the BlackBerry, by the way. Played Snake on the BlackBerry. Never had a Nokia though, but those things were indestructible.
The video's listed as unlisted right now, but it should go live probably in the next hour or so, if I had to guess.
So TB says he submitted a review, so this will be, ideally.
Is there anything on AJ's review before I refresh?
No, his team stacked. He wanted to brag that he had all many picks. He literally said, Danny, I wanted to see you. I wanted to see your reaction to all my picks. AJ, you were a fucking psychopath, and I love you for it.
Yeah, we absolutely love you, AJ. I would venture a guess to say that nobody has purchased more reviews than AJ and Arthur too. Yep. So we really appreciate you guys constantly supporting the channel for sure.
TB, if you just submitted one, it'll probably be.
Yeah, I'm refreshing right now, so I should be able to see it. Unfortunately, Michael's just got to look at the fact that we can't review his team on
Apologies,
here.
By the way.
AJ
Barner, baby.
AJ Barner's team in here. My neighbor's Penix. There we go. You love to see it. Someone was asking for good team names. If you got Malik Neighbors and Michael Penix, which you actually don't even have Michael Penix on this team, this is a good one for sure.
Aaron, I think, by the way, this is perfectly fine. Lamar valued in the 3rd round. Kittle we have as a big time value in the 5th, especially in a tight end premium. Again, my only thing would be like, unless there's a crazy amount of flex spots, like if it was a 4 flex, 3 wide receiver league, 2 wide receiver league, something like that, maybe it would be a little bit sketchy that your flexes would be weak. But if you're in like a 2x2, a 2x1, a format like that, even a 3x2, Kittle in the 5th is too hard to pass. And we will get right into the review now.
Yeah. So Barner's team here, he said, when all in on rookies this year, worried about my bench in the last flex spot, any moves to make. So, again, he's got a really young team, Devon Achane, Henderson, RJ Harvey, all those guys. And then Chase, Neighbors, Hunter, and McMillan is a really loaded receiver core. Other than Andrews is like, he's a little bit on the older side. What's up?
This is the definition of a house money team. Your quarterbacks are set for the long term. You have a top 2 wide receiver and running back duo. And yeah, you have an aging tight end, but maybe also Andrews, if you're able to, can you flip a piece plus Andrews and get like just a younger tight end?
Well, yeah, especially knowing that Andrews probably will start the season hot with Isaiah likely on the mend for the beginning of the season. Like, what if Colston Loveland is playing 48% of the snaps the first 8 games of the season or whatever? You could probably trade Andrews plus a 2 or something to get
throw in JCM at that point too as well. Like JCM's got buzz right now. I saw Ryan Heath actually on Twitter traded JCM for a 2028 one straight up. I don't think that's going to be prevalent in a lot of leagues, but maybe the market has JCM about a 2nd round valuation right now. If he is, capitalize.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. If you can get, more than let me ask you this. Would you sell JCM for a random 2 right now, or would you want more than that?
I would sell him for 2.
Just instantly, you just no questions asked. You'd sell him for 2. Cause if you think about it,
this is assuming it's a random 2.
If you sell him for 2.
This is assuming it's a random 2. If it's like a clear top 3 team in the league, okay, maybe I want some juice. Maybe you add a 3. I would need a 2 and 3 at that point. But if it's like, let's just say I know it's going to be between the 201 to the 207, 208, I think I would just liquidate with the pick.
Yeah,
it does have a chance to burn me. I'm not denying that.
Yeah, if you sell him for a 2, it could be like when people were saying you should sell Puka for a 2. You know what I mean?
It could be, but JCM is also a running back. So I think the better example would probably be Bucky Irving. I think what Bucky Irving did is prove he's one of the best running backs in the league. I don't think it's necessarily, he's an elusive, fun back that, got hot. Like maybe JCM is regarded as a top 8 running back in the league after this year. I just think what Bucky did was special, and we should acknowledge that.
Yeah, sorry. I was looking if Nick or Mason said anything about when the Flock League video is going to drop, and I saw the AI thumbnail of Avery and Nathan, the Dark Side League or whatever that you put in the chat.
What was that?
So I'm literally going to save this image and put it on the screen for everyone to see because it is actually so funny.
Oh, dude, I could just share it right now. I mean, it's in the Discord, but
what is that,
dude? That was the thumbnail I was tweeting. Dude, this is an actor. I don't know what actor, but Avery's guy is an actor. It has to be.
Yeah, he looks like somebody that was working with Paul Blart Mall Cop at the same security place at the mall.
Also, bro, I love how Nathan's guy's got the exact same hairstyle. Looks nothing like him otherwise.
Dude, Nathan's guy looks like he'd be sitting in a cuck chair in a porno.
Bro, the funniest by far, though, if I can find this, by the way, Courage JD for Avery's hilarious.
Did you see from Man vs. Food?
Did you see when Zach tweeted the other day? It was like the cuteness power rankings in the Flock League. And look at the AI things. Nothing was right, but they somehow made Badaki black. I love it. Looks nothing like us, but they somehow knew to make Badaki black.
I think from the eyes up, you could convince me that's Sal, but everything else looks pretty wrong. You look like, who the hell is that?
Dude,
it's nothing like you, dude.
Who are you?
Yeah, Zach also. Zach is like the best looking guy I've ever seen on this too. Like with like the best hair too I've ever seen. That's a little wild.
Dude, I'll take a playoff spot though. I will take a playoff spot.
Yeah, I just like that Nathan and Avery are not included also in the cuteness power rankings.
Dude, I love how we all have our thing and then it just says Sal Vetri.
Yeah, literally, dude, yours looks. Who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that?
Who the fuck is that guy? Herbert.
Oh my god, that is a use. This is why I'm not really worried when people are like AI is taking over. Like, you see this shit right here? This is not a takeover by any means.
That was fucking hungry. And Nathan has those hungry eyes.
I'm still dying at the fucking Avery and Nathan darkness. Like, I'm still dying at it.
Those guys.
Why'd they throw 35 pounds on Avery? He's a unit. He's a unit in that picture.
Dude, he looks like he's about to hawk in a 3-point stance.
No, literally.
Oh my god, that's kind of... Wait, you're telling me Badaki isn't black? No, he is black. It's just it was funny that he was the only black guy in the league and he was the only black guy in the thing, but none of the other pictures look like us anyways, aside from him being black. Oh man.
Oh my god. No, dude, you know what also is hilarious as hell? I got another good comp for Nathan's AI picture. Nathan's AI picture looks like a guy who sings Noah Kahan covers on The Voice.
Oh hell, bro!
Right, let me pull this up. This guy here looks like he would go on The Voice and sing, "Yeah, this is Northern Attitude" by Noah Kahan, and then he's got like a man. Like there was a guy on The Voice that had like a man bun who sounded like Noah Kahan, and he looked kind of like this guy of Nathan. So that's why I'm making that comparison. But yeah, Avery's got like at least 260 in the bank there. Like that is a large human.
That's a large human. I can relate, bro. I can relate to AI Avery.
That's crazy, bro. And like also that looks more like you than the fucking Danny.
Yo, hear me out. AI Avery might just be me.
Yeah, that looks way more like you than the fucking the Danny they gave you.
Bro, no, I'm good. That is fucking AI Avery is literally just lad. That's crazy. But dude, it's funny that you mentioned Noah Kahan specifically because I'll still remember. So my buddy's ex-girlfriend, like obviously he was dating her at the time. So we ended up going to the karaoke bar and she's like, "Oh, come sing this song with me." And I'm like, "Oh, fuck it." Like, we'll just sing because everybody was there drinking. We're all pairing up singing at the karaoke. And she requested a Noah Kahan song.
Which song?
Fucking Sixth Season. Because that was the one that was like super hype at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And bro, like, you know, I am like when I get in a singing mood, like I put my fucking passion into the singing, bro. So I was going hard. Everybody's like, "Wow, like I did not expect you to be able to actually sing like that. Like you were crushing it." And I'm like, if I'm gonna do something, I'm not doing it half-assed. Just like, I mean, when
I heard you sing the anthem. I think I could have done better than that.
I don't know about that, bro.
It's a hard song to sing, though. It's like actually one of the harder songs to sing. Like
I had never sung that
like
song
the Star Spangled
before.
Banner ain't easy.
It ain't easy at all, bro. But dude, between that and obviously right after the comedy show, we go to the little bar afterwards. I had a group of milfs tell me I was the best dancer on the floor. Did you see that? They went up to me. They're like, "By the way, me and my friends all thought that you were the best dancer here." And that was after I got the smooch on the cheek. So maybe Lad was cooking
that night. He was cooking. And speaking of, I need to get revenge on Canada. Or for Canada, sorry, on the United States.
Dude, I'm making Mason singing the national anthem. There's no other way around it.
Oh, dude, I want to make him sing it half in English and half in French.
He will be.
I want him to do the like when they switch it, like at Habs games, they like will switch it midway through. I want to see Mason sing the half French version.
Why is this so specific?
Looks like he teaches Dan specifically jazz tap too. Specifically jazz tap is what he teaches.
Don't let that fool you. Mason's been saying it on his live streams, but dude, you'll think, "Oh shit, okay, like we'll line up 1v1 on the football field." Nathan is fucking athletic as hell. He's athletic as hell. The guy was moving.
He cooked all of us. We were running routes and trying to catch passes in at the BDG combine, and Nathan was roasting all of us.
Dude, He's the fucking G for that. When he lined up against Mason, Mason was talking shit, this and that. He gave Mason one of these, and Mason just fucking fell.
Yeah, dude, Mason's pretty unathletic for someone who runs marathons. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, facts. Looks like he was excited not to be. I mean, like, I'll straight up tell you, on most playgrounds, he's not only not getting picked last, he's like in first overall contention for the play. The guy is fast. He's a little cougar.
Yeah.
What's the fast animal? Cheetah.
He run?
A little cheetah.
When we ran the 40s,
he didn't run it.
Did he not run his 40? I thought he ran one.
Nobody ran 40s.
I ran a 40.
You ran a 40 at the BGG Combine?
Yeah. No, it wasn't on the video, but I ran one while we were there.
Oh, I didn't run one, but probably in the like the.
I don't really want to say what my number was because people think that they could like
mid fives,
like fast in elementary schools. Like I run like a 4.6. It's like you would not. 4.6 is really fast.
What you hit, mid fives?
Yeah, I ran like a 5.3 or something.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens. I mean, like,
I'm not fast. I was a distance runner, but I think Nathan ran like a 4.8 or something.
He definitely cracked under 5. I know that. And which
if
is
he
like
ran it, I don't remember if he ran or not. But I ran faster than Mason, so that's all I know.
Sam,
all I know is that I ran faster than Mason.
Sam, I'm not going to read your comment out loud, but that's insane.
But anyways, we should probably get back to this review quick times, and then we'll close this video out.
Hey, all jokes aside, shout out the Domain boys. They know we fucking love those guys, and cannot wait for next year in Texas when I get to take that crown back from Avery. That gold helmet will be in addition to my collection next year when I'm making these clips.
Oh, absolutely. So Barner said he went in all in on rookies. Is there anything else you would add to this as far as moves that he'd be looking to make here? Because he doesn't have his 1 and 2. So he is kind of pigeonholed a little bit into trying to compete a little bit this year. Would you be willing to make any other moves during the season to get better production? Because he doesn't have his 1 and 2, it's not really a total house money situation.
Correct. I honestly think you have enough production equity to be able to just roll it out personally.
Yeah, I agree. And I think if you had to, like, hey, things aren't going well for you, you could maybe shed some production during the season. Yeah, it sucks that you don't have your 1 and 2, but if somebody's going to beat your door down for DeAndre Swift or Mark Andrews or somebody that you could sell for a decent amount of coin, you could always do that. I wouldn't be opposed to even, actually, no, I was going to say you could downgrade at quarterback, but I think you're fine with the QBs that you have there. And obviously those receivers are going to be goated for you. But yeah, I don't think there's anything that really stands out. I'll look on like the last place team just in case he has anything that it would interest me. I mean, going after like we're pretty high on Walker this year. You could definitely go after him for some more running back firepower. Maybe all it costs you is like RJ Harvey plus to go get him. That wouldn't be something I'd be totally opposed to. And like Jameson Williams and those type of guys, again, I'm just looking at the last place team because he might be interested in making a deal.
Because you can relate, right? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, exactly. Alvin Kamara's on this guy's team, and he's not really in great shape. You could maybe see how much it would cost to buy Alvin Kamara off of him. I'd be willing to send him my 27-2 for that because your team is, especially like after your team is like 4-1 or something like that, you could maybe send out some offers to some of these last place teams here. Let me know if you can answer my trades up there because I got to bounce, sadly. Okay, what do you got for us?
2-3 and Felton for Benson. You taking it? I love Benson, but that's a lot of liquidity to turn down. I think I take the 2-3 and Felton. That's a lot of
the 2 and 3 are. If they're mid to late projected 2 and 3s, I actually think I would hold Benson because I do think, not that I think Benson's like this superstar asset that's going to create a ton of value, but it is within the range of outcomes that he gains value during the season just by a James Conner is out for 3 weeks kind of thing. And I think you can get more then.
It's your team with hella picks. If you already have hella picks, I don't mind just keeping Benson for upside then.
Yeah, keep Benson for upside. And then in season, if the same guy is interested in Benson when Connor is like down with an injury or something, then I would maybe be interested at that point. I got offered Pickens for JCM and Swift. Yeah, take George Pickens there. This is the team that we're reviewing. He got offered Pickens for JCM and Swift.
Pickens all day, baby.
Give me Pickens all day there because that gives you a little bit more liquidity long term in case the things don't work out for you this year because Swift and JCM might be short term assets for you. So, definitely I would take George Pickens there. John, I'm kind of on the same page as you. I don't think he's overrated. I just think he's one of the riskiest, which makes him kind of overrated because everybody's just going to go, oh, well, you only live once, swing on the upside. But it's some swings are better than others, in my opinion. So that's why I'm not really going to be the one to swing on CMC and redraft this year.
Bush is 1 tequila soda away from ranking Derrick Henry above CMC. Don't get it twisted.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, if I'm going to swing on one of them, why not swing on the guy that was better last year and is more durable in general?
Question, how many years of their careers has he produced a higher point per game average than CMC?
Probably like all but 2, I would imagine.
Point per game.
2019
Point per
CMC
game.
obviously better.
Point per game.
Yeah, I mean, of course, but is Christian still that same player? Because I have a lot more confidence that Derek's still that same player.
2017, 2018, 2019, 2020.
Ain't 2017 anymore, dude. I don't think Christian's that
No.
player.
I'm just saying. I'm going through it. 2017, it was Christian McCaffrey. 2018, it was Christian McCaffrey. 2019, it was Christian McCaffrey. 2020, it could have been Derek. That might have been Derek's year.
Derek Henry because
it was probably
hurt. 2021 was
Henry,
also
though.
probably Derek Henry.
Points per game?
Yeah, McCaffrey played like 3 games in 2021.
Oh, okay. No, I'm saying points per game. Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, 3 games doesn't count though. That's,
no, I get
everyone's lives if they took it.
Then we just fucking skip that fucking year. Then like I
mean, but that's conveniently Derek Henry's best season.
Okay, then we can count it for. Okay, I don't know what else you want me to say. How are we just not going to count it for McCaffrey? Like,
yeah,
point per game averages 14.29, which was more than Derek Henry in 2017. 24.09, which was more than Derek Henry in 2018. 2019, 29.45, obviously legendary year. That was more than Derek Henry.
That was more than everyone ever.
2020, obviously he only played 3 games. In those 3 games, 30 points per game, whatever. Like same thing. 2021 only played 7 games. Like those were the injury-prone years.
Henry was injured in 2021 for what it's worth, but he was 24.2 points per game.
Yeah, so that year he outscored him points per game. I'll give you that.
2022,
it was
18.9. I think McCaffrey had like 20-something that year.
2023, we don't even have to look.
2023, yeah, I don't have to look, but yeah, 2024. So I mean, over the last 6 years, it's actually been about 3-3.
2 times.
He outscored him last year.
And 2021.
2021 and 2020. Over the last 5 years, he's outscored him 3 times.
We're counting 2020?
Yeah, that's over the last 5 years.
McCaffrey played 3 games and averaged 30 points per game.
Okay, let's go over the last 6 years. So 2019 is included as well. It's 3-3.
Bro, your math is fucked.
It's correct math.
How are you counting Derrick Henry when he literally got outproduced by McCaffrey on a point per game basis? If you want to wash the year, that's fine, but you can't rewrite history.
Okay, well, 23, 22, and 2019, McCaffrey outscored him. 2020, 21, and 24, Derrick Henry outscored him. That's 3-3.
McCaffrey has outscored him 2017, 2018, 2019. Either you don't.
I just don't think that's relevant for either player. Okay, it's so long ago and they're old.
Let me continue. Either you don't count 2020 or it counts to McCaffrey. You can't just randomly count it to Henry that year.
I guess. I don't know. 2020, Henry played 16 games and McCaffrey played 3. Who was the better draft pick?
It wasn't the question of who was the better draft pick. I asked how many years has Derrick Henry outscored McCaffrey on a point per game basis. That was the question.
I would argue that a 16-game season over a 3-game season, he outscored him.
Bush, was that the question?
Okay, well, points
on a point per game basis,
less than 8 points per game. You got hurt and you ruined everything.
I agree. We don't have to count it, but like you can't just rewrite the question.
I guess I don't know. My point is this: Derrick Henry in the most recent season, especially, and dating back a couple of years, has looked like the better player who hasn't fallen off yet.
Sorry. Okay. As good as Derrick Henry's season was this past season, it would rank where on Christian McCaffrey's agenda? Like his 3rd worst season ever?
But again, because they're both old and aging guys, the most recent data is the most predictive because they're both likely going to fall off soon.
Yeah. And the last time I saw McCaffrey healthy, I saw him average nearly 25 PPR points per game.
Yeah, that's fair. Again, I'm not ranking Derrick Henry over Christian McCaffrey. I'm just saying that it's actually not that far of a conversation.
I think it is.
And it wouldn't shock me one bit if Derrick Henry outscored Christian McCaffrey.
They're both inherently risky running backs given their age. Give me the guy that can break fantasy football.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that Henry is less risky, though, because he didn't fall off at all last year. I think that's also reasonable. A freak of nature physically who might just not fall off for a while still.
Yeah, and then you got more question marks about the 49ers offensive line and offense versus the Baltimore
Brian Robinson's more backfield competition than anything that Baltimore has as well.
He's not.
He's more backfield competition than anything Baltimore has.
I mean, Justice Hill played like 40% of the snaps last year. What do you mean?
Yeah, but Derrick Henry still smashed.
Okay, but McCaffrey will still smash. I think
it's a bigger concern than people think.
Oh, dude,
I'm not saying he's going to be a huge part of the backfield, but it could lower his ceiling from RB1 overall to RB5.
That wasn't the question, though. You said that it's more competition than anybody Derrick Henry has when Justice Hill last year played 42% of the snaps. Is Brian Robinson going to play 42% of the 49ers snaps?
He could.
Okay.
He's also he's better running back than Justice Hill. That was my only point.
Is he better than Keaton Mitchell?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Definitely. Anyways.
I mean the Commanders didn't think so.
we can close this stream out because I am absolutely starving.
Oh yeah.
Appreciate you guys for tuning in. It was a long one today, but we will have you guys covered. Go check out the my players that I'm betting my whole season on. We dropped that earlier today. Tomorrow we're going to have superlatives week kind of kicking off here. Danny's going to be breaking us down. Is it your sleepers or your breakouts first?
Sleepers first.
Sleepers first. Danny will have you covered with sleepers. Then I'll be breakouts the day after that. Then you'll be breakouts the day after that. Then I'll be sleepers the day after that. So we're going to have those videos coming out for you guys. We also have essentially, we did the players we would bet our fantasy seasons on. We're also going to do the players that we don't want to draft by round, basically combined. We're going to be like, hey, who's the worst pick in every single round? And then we'll talk about those. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. And yeah, John, appreciate you. If you want to sign up, there's plenty of options there. Monthly, season pass, annual, whatever you guys are looking for. And we also will be live tomorrow doing some best ball streams in the evening sometime, 4 or 5 p.m., something around there. So definitely check that out. And yeah, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Peace out. We'll talk to you soon.